What up? Hey, everybody out there listening in Radio Land. This is Homer Simpson. I hope I don't sound like that.
It's kind of delicious.
I told you.
Yeah, it is.
What's up, everybody? How are we doing?
We're back.
Yeah. So, thanks for tuning in, and we're gonna get into why we haven't been on in a couple weeks. So it's been. I'm gonna turn our levels down here. I feel like we're a little high. Are we hot?
Coming in hot.
I think we're too hot.
Check, check.
Wait, what are our levels? What do the levels say? Do we sound okay? Hello? Hey,
Hello.
Valdor. Thanks, bud. We are...
Dude, he's psyched. So are we.
So we are going to start with the giveaway. I think we will... we're still giving away Castlevania. I've got the wheel. Let me see if I can pull the wheel up here. We're not going to do it quite yet, but let's see what we got here. So if I can go here... Ooh, it's upside down. We got the Wheel of Death in here. A Wheel of Names. Same thing. And we will do that.
The logo's upside down. That's awesome.
Well, it's supposed to rotate
it
there.
spins.
It was
There we
supposed
go.
to be rotating. That was what it was supposed to be doing. And that's actually going to go right. The loading screen was rebuffering over and over. Okay. If we run into performance issues, let me know. On this end, it looks like everything is okay. I see the upstream, I see the upload rate, and I don't see any dropped frames from what I can tell. But thank you, Bobby, for popping in. How you doing, bud? Let's talk soon. But
We started late too, so that
Yeah.
might be, he hopped on right at the beginning.
there's all kinds of stuff going on over on this end. So I'm going to give people the life update once we start. But I think we should be recording the giveaways too, which I've got a recording now.
I was just making sure because that seems
But
to
I-
be our
Yes.
struggle bus.
Okay, good. It's me, not you. That's the first
Yeah,
time.
never heard that one
First
before.
time I've heard that. Yeah. Hey, Dad. My dad's on the Facebook stream, so I'm not sure if he's still on or not. But looks like we got some people on there. So hello, and hope you're doing good. Love you.
I love you too. Oh, you're talking to your dad.
No, it was you too.
Love you, Bob.
What do you
Always have.
Yeah, always have. What do you think of the Monster Peachy there?
It's peachy keen.
Isn't-
It's peachy keen.
Isn't it good for 5 calories?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I was surprised.
Because clearly I'm watching my calories since I just ate half
Yeah.
a giant pizza.
Jesus. 501 down the street, right up the block here, makes a fantastic pizza, and I try to get it basically every time we get together, and it's just a bad thing. But yeah, we'll get started, and I think what I'd like to do is during the actual show, when we start the actual show, which we'll do here in a minute, that's when I'll do the giveaway, so we can have it in the podcast too, in case somebody that couldn't watch could still listen.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, but you guys can see the wheel now. It's still sitting there. I just realized I'll get rid of that.
Oh,
But
hold on, sorry.
what are you doing, Scarlett?
Any pizza left? That's what Ace says. I went over to the Facebook feed. I didn't realize.
No, it's good. It should be right here. Any pizza left? Yeah. Yeah, Asa, hey, come on, man. I think you're in Montana, but we'll save you some. Come into town and we'll buy you as much pizza as you want, bud. So Asa's a good guy. He's been listening. I actually owe Asa something. I gotta ship him something
Haven't
still.
sent him shit,
We'll
Bro.
get into it here in a minute.
bro.
Yeah, bruh.
Ace, DM me your address. I got you.
Yeah. Get us your address, bud. I'll make sure we make that right. And thank you for listening, obviously. So, yeah, I think, before we get too far into what's going on, we probably should just start it. What do you think?
Yeah, John and Robbie will be on in a little bit.
Yeah. So John, retro game enthusiast John will be giving him a call, and we're going to call Robbie 8-bit supremacy. We obviously just to kind of get the LGN stuff, the ratings, and I think that's it. We got a little bit of a new set here, so we got a new table thing in the backdrop,
thing?
whatever you want to call it, a table
Cleared
cover.
off a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we've streamlined. We're trying to reorganize and streamline. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get into where we've been for the last few weeks too, and give you the update. So,
Hibernating.
yeah, I think without any further ado, we should. How do we put it?
Get this party started.
Start the show.
as Black Eyed Peas would say.
Let's get restarted.
Oh, that was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's my dad's
Just-
humor for the day.
Yeah, don't.
I'm done.
All right. You ready? We got our things here.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
Whoops. Those buttons aren't the buttons I thought they were. All right. How's your levels? You're off.
I know it muted me because I have a habit of talking when you play the music.
Oh, yeah, you sure do. Well, I'm going to mute me too so no one can hear me. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Welcome back to the Lost Joystick Network. Episode 21. They said it would never happen.
We were kind of showing it wasn't going to happen.
Touche, my friend.
Terrible.
Touche.
Terrible.
So, yes, we had a bit of a hiatus. I am Mike, joined as always by my co-host, Jay. Jay, say hello.
Hello.
Thank you for being so accommodating with my request just now.
What? Oh, saying
Asking
hello?
you to say hello.
Hello.
Nice job. Gold star.
What's my gold star?
Well, I'll email it to
All
you.
right, that's fine.
egreetings.com or whatever it is. I'll send it to you
egreetings.com.
like that. But
Love
yeah, so I think the best thing to do here is just to kind of get right into it. Okay. So I'm going to let you start and say, or should I? What do you think?
Oh, I'm on this.
You going to start?
Yeah, we're going to start.
So you give me we've been gone for a month and we apologize. We had to take a couple of weeks off. It was
it's all his fault.
it was not by, I think it was 3 weeks or whatever.
it's all
I don't
your-
know.
it's all
Yeah,
your
it's
fault.
3 or 4 weeks.
I'm blaming you.
Well, it is.
For all of it.
It is.
All of it.
But before we do that, how have your weeks been?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't really done much. Just working.
How's the new gig?
It's good.
It seems like
good.
you really like it, and that makes me super happy.
That's good.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
not growing any hair back from it, but it's good.
Yeah,
I like
well.
it. It's going good.
Fair enough. There it is, folks. 4 weeks wrapped up into 12 seconds.
I am the lamest man alive. Like, this is the only thing I have going for me, is literally this.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm sorry.
They will.
No, my job has changed a little bit. So I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing it in a different way at my job. And it's going to be a different process. So I'm on the pre-sales side as an engineer, and I was dealing with current customers in the past, and now I am moving to enterprise sales. So it's going to be like which I did for years prior to moving to this. I know, boring, but
Oh, sorry, I fell asleep.
it's a different. Yes, well, I mean,
As you were saying?
anyway.
I'm joking.
Anyway, I says
that's
to
good for
Mabel,
you.
I says, see, look, we're already down to 3 viewers, man. We just
Look at that. You killed
geez,
half-
I
you
killed
killed
everybody.
50%.
There's nobody here. No. Yeah. Anyway, my job has changed somewhat dramatically, but basically the same. It's weird. It's hard to describe, but neither here nor there. So yeah, everything has been good with me. We had part of. I'll get into part of why we've been gone, and that is because my life was exceedingly busy for a short period of time. So the girls' spring break was the last week of March. Then I had a sales kickoff meeting that I was supposed to be in Chicago for a week for, but some events transpired that precluded me from being able to attend. So I had to attend virtually, and then just getting caught up from that, and I'll get into all that. But yeah, everything has been good, man. Like
Good.
life is good. There were some hiccups, but it's all getting ironed out, and the dust is starting to settle on all of it. So with that, I think what I'll do is I'll get into what has really been going on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. We can do that,
yeah.
and then we'll move on from there. But
so-
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, so here's what happened, and this is a personal story. It's about my personal life. If you don't want to hear this, I'll put in the notes when we start talking about the subject matter. No problem. I understand. No, not everybody wants to hear how my week was or about my trials and tribulations. But the basis of it is I just talked about how I was going to be out of town, and we went to Atlanta for a week. Right, we went to Nashville for a day, and then Atlanta for a week, and that was on a Friday. I think it was like the 25th. We left or whatever day that was of March.
Yeah.
And then there was a little bit of a hiccup just prior to that.
Oh, do tell.
So
Do you like how I'm acting like I don't know already?
yeah. No, I want you to play the straight man who has no idea what happened, even though you know all the details.
So what happened? Tell me more.
Our car was stolen.
Get out of here.
It's true. Oh yeah, you're doing the straight thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
Oh.
So our car was stolen. You know, and it's a funny. It's not funny, but the circumstance of it all is kind of peculiar and whatever. So I'm going to go into a little diatribe about kind of what happened and what, you know, all that stuff. So
I'm going to throw the Keith Morrison in here as you're going. So if I just go, oh.
yeah, you do that.
Oh.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Go ahead.
Please do that.
Continue.
So, yeah, Amy wakes me up like Tuesday night into Wednesday morning.
Oh.
Okay, baby, don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm gonna get distracted and not be able to think. I should preface by saying, let me start with this. Amy and I both kind of got home at the same time on that Tuesday prior to us leaving town. And Harrison had parked at the end of the driveway.
In typical Harrison fashion.
Yeah, not whatever.
You fit like 17 cars in your driveway. Yeah, and he still parks at the very end.
But somehow he parks completely at the end. The worst part was really that where he had parked, it was kind of in the middle, I should say, because his grandmother came over to visit and she was going to be leaving, but she had pulled up literally. So she was like parked in this place, and Harrison was like the front of her car to the back of her car, and then Harrison's car in the other lane of our 2-lane driveway.
Sideways.
Yeah, whatever. The front of that car was at the back of her car. So if you imagine if people who are looking, there was a car like this, and then there was a car like this. That doesn't really help the audio visual, but they took up the most possible room in the driveway, and I couldn't park behind her, Amy's mother, because she was going to be leaving. So I was talking to Amy. I said, I'll just park in the street in front of the house. Amy, you park behind Harrison, and then when your mom leaves, I'll pull in, and you can pull the car in the garage. Well, we had both woke up very early the day prior. Like that Tuesday morning, both of us woke up real early. So we both kind of passed out. She fell asleep downstairs on the couch. I fell asleep upstairs, playing Pokemon Arceus, or Arceus, whatever you're going to call it, right? So Amy wakes me up at 3 a.m. and says, I think someone stole our car. And now, I don't normally do this, but the keys to the car were in the car because I was fully planning on going back out there to pull it into the driveway and lock it up and all that stuff. And Amy said they went, she's kind of not freaking out, but she's she did a great job of waking me up, but not making me think that someone was dead.
Not doing the whole while your dad's asleep. And she's like, oh my God, the car's gone.
Yeah, this is very important, but everybody's okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I look at my phone because we have this VW, and the VW wasn't stolen. It was a Chevy Traverse. Okay, so the Traverse was the car I was driving. It was Amy's old Traverse. I was driving it because it had 170,000 miles and blah, blah, blah. And it had some problems that were coming up on it. And I was like, I'd rather drive it and let Harrison drive my car because I don't want him to have to worry about reliability. Yeah. And then Amy has a brand new Atlas. So whatever. So with the Atlas, you have this app that tells you when the car doors have been opened and that kind of stuff. So it literally had happened 20 minutes before she woke up because Amy had woke up and said, oh, I should pull the cars in. They're out in the driveway. She woke up at 3 a.m. Yeah. She walks out there. Her car had been rifled through, and then the other car is completely gone. So she comes up, tells me, we call 911. They send an officer over, gives us a case number. He takes some DNA samples out of the car, just to make sure. What
were they doing in the car?
I don't know. Who's to say? Out of her car.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, well, but they do it because they're trying to catch the people. Anyway, I digress. So we're leaving town in 2 days, right? I'm supposed to be gone to Atlanta for a week, starting Friday morning at 6 a.m. or whatever we're going to leave. And then I'm going to come back for one day. We're coming back the following Friday. We're coming back one day, and then I'm supposed to go to Chicago for a week. Now I have no car. So, the officer's like, we're going to try and find it. The really crummy part about it was I had cleaned up the basement because it was the basketball tournament, right? So the tournament's coming. We're going to have people over. You came over. We had a great time, watched all the games. It was fantastic. The first weekend is one of my favorite parts of the year, and one of my favorite sporting events is that March Madness and the first weekend of March Madness. I love it. So I got all prepped, but I cleaned the basement out, and I had put a bunch of stuff in the back of the car. I had a vintage receiver in there. I had a box that had all of my Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, some Atari games, like all this stuff. A box Genesis, like a black box Genesis, a Sonic, 1 or Sonic 2 Genesis or whatever it was, 1, I think. And, some just general miscellaneous other stuff. And that's the car they took. And it had all that stuff in it. And I'm like, well, that fucking sucks. Like I just put it out there a few days ago and I was going to take it to storage. I was actually going to take it to storage facility the day prior, but I had forgotten the key. I'd come downtown, didn't have the key on me, whatever, no big deal. So, yeah, they take the car. Then we have the initial officer help us, right? The guy that was on patrol that night. The sergeant calls us the next day. Very nice guy, the township that we live in. Great guy. And he's like, we're going to try and find the car. And I'm like, I hope you don't. I didn't say that, but I'm like, really, honestly, I'd rather just like not find it at this point. Who knows what's happened to it and all that. So anyway, a couple days fly by. It's Thursday night now. It's Thursday night at like 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And the police officer calls me. I'm like, oh, here we go. He's found the car. I know, like, you're not calling me at 11:30. The police are not calling you at 11:30 for no reason. So he calls me. He's like, we found your car. It was parked over in this place. They'd run it into a ditch and the side view mirror was blasted off and all this stuff. And he's like, there's still quite a bit of stuff in it, right? So, okay, no problem.
Bring it back a little bit. You had already left. You were in Atlanta, right?
No.
Oh, you had.
This was the night. Okay. This was 11:30 at night before we're leaving.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So what he tells me is Amy's purse. Well, I haven't even gotten into that. Well, I won't even get into that right now. But they also found Amy's purse through Apple AirTag, which they had ditched. Yeah. But whatever. I helped them find that, and then. When he's like, he's like, I just happened to be over here towing on their car, and it was like in this place, and I saw it, and I went over to it, and sure enough, it was your car. So he tells me that there's like Amy's ID and some of her credit cards are sitting on the ground by the car. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, a lot of stuff is kind of in here too. I'm not sure what you had and what you didn't. And come to find out, not all of it was there. Like they did take some stuff and whatever. I understood that, but he's like, we're going to have it towed. I'll have it towed over to this lot. Have your adjuster come look. Cause we have a homeowner's claim and an auto claim we have to do and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So we're in Atlanta. I can't do anything about this. I can't go through the car. I talk to the detective. The detective goes out to the car. She again takes like DNA samples. They're trying to like catch.
Because at this point you're leaving the next day. Yeah. You can't physically go look at the car until the police release it.
Well, I can go look at it anytime, but they can't take it until. And no one can take the car. Well, first of all, I should say this. And I'm sorry, this is a long story, so I'm gonna try and wrap it up quickly. The detective said the car is on hold. You cannot do anything to it until I go look at it and do some DNA samples and try and investigate the car. No problem. They do that while I'm out of town. Now, we're not getting back till Friday, and I'm supposed to be gone for the entire week after. I'm supposed to be in Chicago for this sales kickoff thing. So I wind up reaching out to my boss on Saturday and saying, look, I can't get a rental car. It's spring break here. He knew what had happened. I told him about the car being taken and all that stuff. And I said, can I attend? Some of these people are doing this virtually. Can I do it virtually? He said, sure. So that worked out. Now, it didn't really help that much because honestly, I was in meetings from like 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. every day for 4 days.
So the only difference was instead of sitting in Chicago, you were sitting in your basement.
But what it did allow me to do was talk to the investigators, talk to the detective, talk to the sergeant, talk to the insurance people, talk to all these people I had to talk to in between these calls. Or if I had to dip out, I could, whatever. Neither here nor there. Like, again, I know this is getting long. So then they say, okay, we've released the car. You can come get your stuff out of it. And then we will give a full release so you can, like, they can take it. So I said, okay, no problem. But I'm not going to be able to get there till Friday, right? This is like Monday or Tuesday. This is the last week. This is while I'm still in Atlanta. Yeah. So the following week is when I'm going to be able to do it. But I'm not going to be able to do it Monday through Thursday because they're only open like 10 to 6 or whatever. And I'm never going to make it over
your meetings are from like 8 to
9 to 7.
Yeah.
So that Friday, I'm going to get up that morning. I don't have any, I've got calls, but it's nothing too much, right? Everybody's kind of still traveling from sales kickoff and all that. So I go over there. It's cold. It's rainy. The car is in a muddy lot. The doors are locked because they took the only set of keys. The keys were not recovered. So now the car is locking itself because it thinks someone's stealing it because the guy has to Slim Jim it open, right? Like the lot has to Slim Jim it open. And that also means that it's a Traverse with a hatch. The hatch doesn't open. So I have these big things I got to get out of the car, but I can't get them out through the back of the car. And it's also parked in between two other cars pretty closely. So I'm trekking through the mud as it rains and it's freezing cold, pulling my stuff out of the side of the car. Yeah. And it was a grand time was had by all. An interesting side note, a few things about that. And again, I know this is blah, 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 and we're talking for a while here, but when I was going through the car myself, I found an appointment card for somebody that I did not know. And I verified with Amy, who was the only other person that ever drives the car, that it wasn't hers as well. So gave that information to the police, gave the card to the police, and it might take them right to the person that did it.
How funny would that be if they're sitting in the lobby of whatever this appointment was for?
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, what's
I kind of want to go. I have a picture of the card. I kind of want to go and see who shows up.
When's the appointment?
In August.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a ways out.
It's a ways out, but they might bust him before then, because another interesting thing is this. The things they took out of the car were, they took my bowling balls. Weird. Okay. But not like the vintage receiver sitting right next to him worth $600. They took this small box of games that had like a couple of NES games, and it was all dupes of stuff that I was going to put in my storage facility. Again, that's why I was all in the car. But then there was a giant box of all my Xbox and PS3 and all that stuff I talked about was in the back, and they had ripped that box open and not took it, but they took the little box. And it just was kind of weird what they took and what they didn't. So like the officer says, well, maybe they were trying to like do a smash and grab and get out. And I'm like, well, why would you take bowling balls? It's literally the heaviest, most difficult thing to move. Like the box was 10 times lighter than the bowling balls. You know, it couldn't have weighed 15 pounds, whatever.
I'm assuming probably worth more. I mean, I know bowling balls were nice balls, but you had some nice balls, Pitts.
Thanks.
But it was, I mean, it's a matter of, those games were probably worth more.
The games were, it was probably a $2,000 market value box of games. And the bowling balls, honestly, on the secondary market are worth nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're custom drilled for me, and used bowling balls are worth about 20% of what they are new a lot of the times, depending on what it is. And then the bag and shoes, like who's buying that stuff? You're getting pennies on the dollar for that. So whatever. So the other interesting part is Harrison comes to me and says, this is like the Thursday night of the sales kickoff. The sales kickoff is now ended. And here, I think it's Thursday night. And Harrison says, hey, do you need like Adventures of Lolo 2 or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 for your NES collection, like the boxes? And I'm like, why? And he goes, well, we got them in. And I said, were they in box protectors? Yeah. I said, did you pick them up or look at them? He goes, oh, I picked up Lolo. It felt really light. I said, that's because they're box only, Harrison, and those were mine. Someone took the stuff to Media Reload, where Harrison works, Amy's son, right? Small town. Like, people don't think about this, but there are only so many outlets where you can go fence these stolen goods, right? So they take it over to Media Reload, bring their ID, which they take a copy of, got their address, and guess what? I think we have our prime suspect.
Maybe.
So we'll see about all that. But yeah, so anyway, recovered that. I didn't claim that on my insurance. They're paying us out on the car. The car was totaled, no problem. I'm actually going to get a pretty good payout on the car, so I'm happy about that. Now I have to go buy a car, which is not the most enviable time in the world to go do that, but it's cool. I got to do it anyway. But yeah, right now the happy ending is we got rid of the car that I didn't really love anyway. We got a good payout on it. I got a majority of my stuff back. They're going to pay us out pretty well for the stuff that was in the car. And I made a pretty extensive list, and it's all fine. It's really just more of first of all, the fact that someone would just get in your car and drive off on it is like, you're fucked in the head. Like, what is wrong with you? And second,
even better when you do that, and then you sell somebody's games that you have to use your ID to get them or to sell them.
I like this. Valdor says, get a junker and buy stadium events. I'm way ahead of you, buddy. We might just be buying a new car and financing it, and none of the money might go towards the car. So yeah, we're right here on that, Valdor. So, but yeah, so that's that. If that gives you a little bit of idea as to why we haven't been on that April 1st or whatever, it would have been the March 31st. Pocket. It was just, everything going on there was a complete nightmare. So it was just never gonna happen. And Jay and I have decided that We're going to put together some pocket episodes that we can throw in. If something like this happens again, we want to at least be able to post something. And you want to talk about the idea a little bit that we came up with?
Yeah, we can talk
about it. All right.
Sure. So it's a work in progress, of course.
I think we got the details down finally, though, because we tried a dry run, and
it was a disaster.
It wasn't a disaster. It just would have been better with our original idea and not what we changed the idea to. We should have just stuck with what we originally conceived.
Yes. So our plan is, and we're going to release the name. Is that what we're going to?
We'll tell that at the end.
Okay, we're going to wait.
The name is too good, but we have to wait.
Yeah, but our plan is, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple small episodes together, and they'll be recorded. Of course, we're not going to do them live, but those will be just a fallback, like a best of type
in the can, as they say in the industry.
Sure,
we're going to have some. We're going to have some shows in the can that if we need to just drop a quick episode up. It will be a very simple thing to do. It'll be pre-edited, and it's going to be it'll be 20 to 30 minutes. And
tell them about a half hour. And what we're going to do. So it'll basically be. So of course everybody knows I'm collecting Super Nintendo set now. Mike, of course, is minus the Stadium events. He's collecting the Nintendo set, but neither one of us are like Robbie. So
who's insane?
Yes, who we are going to start playing the games. So. Mike made up our Wheel of Death that we have for the drawing tonight. We actually did one all Super Nintendo, all Nintendo. We just spin the wheel on it and we pick a game. We're going to play it for 10 minutes.
Nope.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. Our initial was 10.
That was the problem.
Yes. So we're going to play it for 5 minutes, and then we're not going to do, so our typical fashion here is we do research on the game. So we spend time looking up when
did it come out? What platforms are it on? What is it?
Yeah.
Right?
Story, design, all that stuff. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to talk about the game.
Yeah. So I think the most succinct way to put it is we've loaded up every NES game into one wheel of names.
Yes.
We've loaded up every SNES. These are all licensed US games, right? Into another wheel. And we will spin those wheels. We will have it choose a game. Once it chooses a game, we remove it from the wheel, so we never do a duplicate.
Yep.
And then whatever those games are, we'll play them for 5 minutes, and then we'll talk about them for 5 minutes each. Mm-hmm. And we tried 10. Okay, so I originally said let's do it for 5.
Yes,
didn't work. Or then I said no, not 5. Let's try 10. 5's probably not long enough. Then, bless you. We did our first spin, and it came back as. Man, Mr. Sneeze over here. It came back as Cybernoid for NES and Weapon Lord for the SNES. And I'm going to tell you, it was tough to try and play a couple of those games for more than 5 minutes. So at that point, we recorded it. We tried to do 10, and it was just that we were burning a bunch of time doing it. And I was like, this isn't going to make any sense. So that'll be a lost episode that one of these days we'll post for you guys. If we ever have some exclusive thing or whatever, we'll make sure you guys get access to it. But yeah, so ultimately, we're going to go 5. And I came up with what I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, get your mic on there.
Thank God we're going 5.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Oh my God, 10 was way too long. You started playing Weapon Lord, and 2 minutes later, you're like, has it been 5 minutes, 10 minutes yet?
No, I said, has it been 10 yet? And you were like, no, you're about
it's 90 seconds in.
Yeah.
But the name, I think is a good name, is the Nintendo Tapes.
Yep.
Because we're going to be playing Nintendo Tapes.
And that, when we were kids, that was what everybody called Nintendo games. Was Nintendo? You got one of them new Nintendo tapes?
The stupid people did.
Well,
I did.
Okay.
Cybernoid is just misunderstood. Yeah, it's misunderstood. It also, there's something peculiar about that game in that I don't want to go too far in it because we're still going to do it.
No, we're going to do it. We're still going to do it.
But I'm curious about what the gravitational pull of the planet that this ship is on, because
oh, it made me think about is Back to the Future too. Man, this is heavy.
Yeah.
Is there something with the gravity in the future?
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. So that's been my few weeks, and I do apologize that we've been gone. And we're going to come up with a contingency plan to make sure that even if we're not around, we can still get something up for you guys to listen to. And we appreciate the support. And people reached out and said, "Is everything okay? How is everything? Are you guys all right?" A few people kind of knew what was going on, but a lot of people did not. So I do apologize for the absence. I appreciate your guys' patience with us. I appreciate you listening, watching, and interacting always, regardless of how long it's been or what's going on. But I think you won't be seeing this month-long gaps ever again.
no.
So we've got a good thing in place. So
And worst case scenario, I mean, to kind of draw, I guess, a little bit of a line with that is if we do have gaps, we will still have we'll have something coming out. It may not be live, but we'll at least have something because we'll do these the NES tapes. We'll be doing those. So we'll still have things. We just won't have anything live. Occasionally, it's very few and far between. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh,
that's not good.
uh-oh.
That's okay.
Hold that thought, everybody.
No, everybody's good. It's just the screen.
Mike's drop kicking the game. Okay, I think we're still good.
I'm sure I just ripped
I don't know what he's doing.
that'll fix it.
We're working on it, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're back.
it's doing stuff. Hey, we're still there. Okay, we're still there. Good.
It was all still going.
But yeah, we'll still have we'll still be playing. We'll still be having the episodes. But if we have anything that comes up where we can't get into the episode, we will still have something out on the podcast.
and we'll make sure everybody knows what's going on.
Yes.
I mean, I might not tell you that the car was stolen, but I'll tell you that we might be on a delay.
Yeah, that's gonna eat 40 minutes of our episode
But anyway,
when we are live.
yeah. So with that, I think it's time to get into a little bit of a collecting update.
It's been a month. We should have something.
I got nothing. How about you?
Yeah, I got nothing.
All right,
I got
moving
this new
on.
Peachy monster.
The show topic is no
Peachy Keen.
Peachy Keen. So, do you want? Why don't you go first?
Oh, I gotta go first.
You got to go first.
I don't remember what I got.
Are you ready?
No.
Here. Look at this.
I'm looking at it. I got it right here.
Well, then fine. Never mind.
Yeah. So I actually got a few things. I'm kind of excited about that.
I know.
So, okay. What? Oh, I'm like, what are you doing?
Pointing.
So
I'm directing and go.
and go.
Your influence. You're now with the. Yeah, never mind. Blew it.
You're ruining it.
Damn, I did.
Ruin it.
I messed it up. I was going to say something, and then I was going to act like a director, and I wanted to be a big man in front of the kids, and
Oh.
I fucked it up.
Or was he? It's my Keith Morrison again.
You should retire that.
I think I'm going to.
Yeah,
I'll just go back to Shao Kahn. Finish him.
Yeah, that's much better.
No, I did. I got some stuff. So John, of course, retro game enthusiast, our buddy from the Famicom King. He actually got me. He was nice enough. He sent me a dozen games for Nintendo. Games, of course, I don't have yet, which was awesome.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Nintendo. Sorry. And he actually sent me a sealed copy of, I don't even remember what.
You don't even remember. That's what makes me the most upset about this whole thing.
I know.
Vegas Stakes.
Vegas Stakes.
Jay?
That's it. Vegas Stakes.
So,
sealed
Jay,
copy of Vegas Stakes.
Tell them why this is important, though. What are you doing? People, not everybody that's listening knows. What are you?
I'm collecting the set. I'm doing the whole North American release.
The whole NTSC
Yes.
licensed SNES set.
Yes, 727 games.
Yep, and we got a list, and you've checked off 14, I think now, something like that.
No, John sent me 13,
Well, you've got Double Dragon 5.
and you got me Double Dragon 5.
Well, you got a dupe of Ken Griffey.
Well, no, I have one Ken Griffey
Oh, you have the
because
box.
you gave me the box, which
Yeah.
I have a CIB
That's right.
Griffey
That's right.
now.
Okay.
Actually, no, I don't have the manual. Hey, I got a Ken Griffey baseball manual. I need one. I don't know if you will,
There's no manual in the box?
No, there's no
oh,
manual
we'll
in the
find you one of
box.
those. There's probably 5 at Kyle's shop.
but
I found
I
an-
got that. Mike actually gave me the box a while back because I was a huge Griffey fan growing up as a kid.
Yep.
So that's why I got that. But John sent me the actual cart for it. So now I have that. So that's pretty cool. So I thank John again a million times over. It was awesome he did that. So he's a good guy. John's good people. Everybody knew that though. That's
He
kind
is.
of a gimme. John's a great guy.
Yep.
So I also picked up a couple records. Actually, half of them you picked up for me. So I got Mars Volta.
Go ahead.
Don't stop pointing at stuff. Then you derail me, and then I fall apart. So no, I got a couple Mars Volta records. So I ended up getting the
Francis.
Tremulant EP,
Yeah, Tremulant.
which you picked up for me.
Glow in
from
the dark.
Jerry.
Yep.
Did you get that from Jerry? No, you ordered it.
I ordered those
You
from
ordered it.
SRC.
Jerry sold
Yeah.
through those.
Yep.
But then when you were in Atlanta, you got
Francis
Francis the Mute. You found a copy of that, which I was super excited
which
about.
was also on Glow in the Dark.
Yeah, super weird.
I was like, I didn't know until I took the picture and sent you. I was like, hey, and these are not cheap. Like, these reissues are ridiculously priced.
Yes.
And I'm like, do you want this? And he's like, yeah, get it. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Because they had that and Amptecture.
Yes.
But it was like, I wasn't going to take a loan out to buy both of them. That
and
was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I went to Criminal Records down there in Little Five Points. I lived in Atlanta for like 12 years, and you know, there are some places when I go back that I always want to be able to visit. So
Yeah.
when I was there, I got to visit my buddies that I played poker with on a regular basis. We had a game on that Thursday night. Went to Criminal Records, hit my game shops, which we'll talk about a little bit in here too. I don't even have the notes in here, but yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, then of course, Run the Jewels repressed their records, minus Run the Jewels 4. They repressed
1 through 3.
Yep. Jerry actually got 1 and 3 in stock, so I picked up Run the Jewels 1 and 3, which is surprising. They actually repressed those on the colored vinyl they originally pressed them in, which was
Same
awesome.
color.
Yes. So 3 is on gold vinyl, and 1 is on red and black split vinyl. So, which is really cool. Backtracking to the Glow in the Dark, if there's any people that do, I don't know who else collects records on here. But normally Glow in the Dark is trash as far as from a pressing
From
standpoint.
a fidelity perspective, it is very poor, yes.
I'm
I'm not a big nerd about that, but I like clear, white, and glow in the dark are like generally considered the worst when it comes to like how they sound if you're like a discerning nerd about listening.
And I haven't listened to Francis yet, but I did put on the Tremulate EP, and it's surprisingly really good. It sounds pretty good.
Well, you got a nice little kit there, so that helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes it exposes the flaws, but in your case, maybe it just
Makes
covers
it
them
sounds
up.
better. Makes it sound better. Makes it sounds better. Derp.
And then what else?
Oh, the other thing I got. So I've been looking for a copy of Castlevania Anniversary for the Switch from Limited Run.
Yep.
And I know everybody's getting Limited Run's trash. Whatever. I still wanted it because it's cool. It's got Castlevania 1, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. It's got
Kid Dracula.
Kid Dracula. It's got Super Castlevania 4. It's got...
You're a Super Castlevania 4.
I am Super Castlevania 4.
You wish you were that good.
It's got both. It's got the Castlevania 2... Belmont's Return, I think is what it's called for the Game Boy. And then it's got the Castlevania... I don't remember what the other Castlevania was called for the Game Boy. It has both of those.
Yeah.
And then... What else does it have on it? Does it have Bloodlines on it?
Probably. I don't know.
think it had Bloodlines on it too.
Why
I
not?
that, but it was cool to get. And you actually found that for me too down in Atlanta.
So that's a good segue.
Yes.
I'll kind of jump in here because I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's all I had.
So yeah, I'll kind of start. So Valdor says, I grabbed a copy, but I can't bring myself to open it. Me either, buddy.
Grabbed a copy of what?
Jay opened your Castlevania collection.
Oh, that thing was open that night.
Jay opened it right away. Mine's still sitting there sealed because I'm like, well, I have all these games. I can
have
play them
no
whenever I
shame.
want.
I opened same thing with record.
I know.
When I get the records, I open them. I haven't even listened to that Mars Volta yet.
Yep.
The
And-
Francis the Mute. It's opened already.
No. And then, so Matteo says RTJ, obviously a Run the Jewels fan. John mentioned that he might have a manual for you for Ken Griffey, and also that Peachy Keen is the new name for Peachy Pom Pom, which he's going to have to elaborate on that one. I just couldn't. Me either, man. I haven't been able to open it yet because it looks like an NES game. It's like in the same box and style.
It does.
And all
It's
that.
even got the limited run. Put a little cardboard. The black plastic sleeve. It's got a
there's
cardboard sleeve for
inside of it. I wouldn't know because I don't know mine. I watched you open yours. And then Lil Man 464 says we should do an episode about the console wars of Genesis and SNES, and I think that's a great idea. I would love to do that kind of an episode at some point.
For sure.
Because I'm telling you, go listen to that audiobook, The Console Wars. It's amazing. It gives you the point of view of Sega from and Tom Kalinske and everything that was going on at Sega at the time.
Yeah.
So definitely worth it. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, I went to, I think it's Retro
Keep talking. I'm gonna walk
Video
away for
Game
a second.
Traders or something. There's a store in Buford or like northeast of Atlanta that I went to when I was down there. I was like, oh, I want to go over there. So Shorts Brewery. Yeah, that's Peachy Pom Pom. Yes, yeah, okay, yeah. Shorts is Michigan beer. Yes, you're right, John. Yeah, okay. So you lost me. I'm sorry. I was thinking video games. I figured that was some sort of Famicom game you were talking about. So yeah. Anyway, I go to a store in Atlanta. It's northeast of Atlanta. It's actually out in the suburbs, outside of the perimeter there. I think it's called Video Game Trader or whatever it is. Fine store. They had a lot of great stuff. Their prices were so weird. Like they had. I always hesitate to educate vendors. Like it depends on the person. If I like you, or if I know you, or if I am friends with you, or whatever it is, I'll probably help you out. But if you're someone I don't know, and I might just take advantage of you because you've mispriced something. So, but in this case, I didn't, because they had a boxed copy of The Legend of Zelda for NES, and it was a first print. It was a TM first print Circle Seal. The box was not in great shape. The manual was okay, but they had it at like $200, and I was like, that's cheap now, especially for a first print, like a first print Circle Seal TM, and you have the right cart, right manual. It was the game pack version, not the cassette version of the manual, but they're both considered first prints, I guess. So that's thanks to our friend Defcode, Zero X Defcode, that does all the Zelda info. And but so they had that there. I didn't buy it because I'm like, I have 2 of these.
Should have bought it.
I probably should have, but that's not here. But then like that's like $200. But then I go look and it's like they have Panzer Dragoon Saga for. Hold on, why is Scarlet? Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll edit this out. Sorry, somebody was calling me. They had Panzer Dragoon Saga for Saturn, and they wanted $1,800 for it.
Holy shite.
Like, dude, like, okay, I understand that sometimes there's like an upcharge, or like some people want to base their prices off of what's available, not what's sold or whatever. And I think that's stupid. Okay, I'm not usually like Mr. Hot Take or forthcoming with very hard takes and stances, but pricing something off of what it's being sold for versus what it has sold for is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
Okay. So, but my point is, I have no idea where they got this price from, because, to your point, they had 2 copies of the Castlevania collection for Switch by Limited Run Games in the little NES box, and they were all sealed and brand new, and they were $70. These things are like $120 to $150 on eBay.
So why the hell did I pay you $120 for this game?
Oh, because what happened was,
I kid. Oh God.
Anyway.
But yeah, so they had
$70. So that was $70, and I'm like, what's going on in this store? They had a Play Choice 10, like upright arcade, not the tabletop, the upright, $1,500. That's a deal if you ask me. If I would have, buddy, I might. Okay, I'm half tempted to drive down there and get it. And it's 11 hours.
Anybody road trip?
Anybody in Atlanta that's listening, they can get that thing for me and get it to me. I'm in, man.
No, let's do a road trip.
Or we can do that too. Whatever.
I'm sure John's down.
Oh, John. Well, he'd have to come east. He's way west now.
He could meet us in
Kansas City, guys, the West Coast.
Bring some barbecue, meet us in Tennessee.
Good. But yeah, so anyway, got that. The prices were just weird. And I kept saying, I'm going to go back. I'll go shop again there. The only other thing I bought there was I bought a Town & Country Surf Designs 2 Thrillist Safari manual, which was cheap. And in like a little plastic container, right? Like it was in nice shape and it was pretty cheap.
Like the little mini, almost like comic book seal bag type.
Yeah,
dealio.
Like the bags for the little manuals.
Yeah.
And you can buy them at retroprotection.com, who I've purchased from a number of times. Not sponsored, by the way, but great customer service.
That dude. Any sponsors? We just like plugging people.
Yeah, I'd rather just plug people than have people give us stuff.
That's cool.
I can get stuff. I don't care.
Until we do our Patreon.
Yeah, then
y'all can give us money. I'm joking. We're not doing that.
I'm in. Just pick me up. Sounds good. So I didn't go back. The only other thing I bought there was a complete in box copy of Pit Fighter, and it was like $20, which is way too much.
Trash.
But we had just talked about Pit Fighter. I didn't have it. It was in nice shape, but they had a lot of cool stuff. But it was just like, it was like my first thing I had gone to do while I was there, and I'm like, I don't want to buy a bunch of stuff. Yeah. We're on vacation, and so I didn't. But anyway, so yeah.
Still should have got that Play Choice 10.
I know.
You should just went over there with the kids and been like, hey guys, why don't you hop out and go check out the stuff?
To be fair, I thought I was going to have to replace my entire Xbox 360 collection, which is not that much. It's probably 30 or 40 games, but it's all good stuff. It's like Orange Box, Castlevania. It's good things. It's not just a bunch of like trash, Madden or whatever. No offense to Rest in Peace and Rest in Power, King. I don't want to, disparage the good name of Mr. John Madden, but his games are not worth very much money. No. But I was still in this, like, I don't know what the hell's going to happen space with everything. So I was like, I don't really want to spend too much money and blah, blah, whatever. So anyway, the other things I bought were yesterday, I'm driving back up, picked up Connor on a Wednesday, which is unusual. I took the rest of the week off. It's his spring break.
Yeah.
I went in on the way up. I'm friends with the guy who runs this store in Bowling Green. Good guy. I'll plug his store. I don't want to put his business out there, but his name is John. Runs Rock'em Sock'em Retro right down in Main Street, Bowling Green, Ohio.
Great store.
Great guy. Good store.
If you ever get a chance to go out there, stop in.
Stop in. Great dude. Very fair. Former collector, and he is the person who's out there trying to help me find stadium events. He knows everybody. He's been a collector for years and now has owned a store for years. He knows everybody in the business. He knows everybody here and there and all that stuff. And he's got all these connections. So when they go up for sale, he knows, right? And he's going to let me know. And he's the one kind of keeping me abreast of what's going on with all that. And he's, but so we go in there and I'm BSing with him. We're just catching up. And, we're talking about possibly going to Cleveland to do the CCAG show. And I'll come out there and help him and those kind of things. It'll be fun. I think that'd be cool. And so, but then I'm standing there and Connor found a Bowser plush he wanted. And that was really it. And I had found a couple of boxed NES games that were cheap. So Bases Loaded and Bases Loaded 3. They were super cheap. I'm I don't have these. Let's buy them, whatever. So, and then as I'm checking out, I'm kind of standing there. I'm is that a boxed U-Force? And he's like, yeah, that's for sale, right? And he goes, he doesn't collect anymore at all. Sometimes he was the one that said you almost make me miss it, collecting, when I was chasing the set stuff. But he was yeah. And I said, well, how much are we talking? I don't know what a box. I have no concept. I've never bought a U-Force. The only time I've ever actually seen one in person was at a thrift store, and it was trashed years ago when I wasn't collecting. And I thought, of course it's at a thrift store. No one would ever want this thing.
We're going to show of hands who has a U-Force.
Yeah, well, on this podcast and the 5 people listening, I'm going to guess that at least 40% of the 5 viewers on Twitch are going to tell me. I know of at least 2 that probably have one.
Mario and John, I'm going to guess.
I'm going to guess they do. And if they're listening right now and they can jump in, great. Let us know.
I feel like Matteo's two-fisted one.
I know,
got 2 of them.
but I know he has one because we talked about it. So it's unfair. Have a little advantage.
Oh, yeah. There you go, John.
I got a nice CIB U-Force. I knew it. John has one. And mine's nice too. In fact, Matteo goes, yours is nicer than mine. And I'm that's how I knew he had one. But yeah, so I was texting with Robbie yesterday and I said, it's almost like nobody ever used it. It was complete in box, had everything, all the accessories, the 2 manuals, everything. It's the cardboard, everything. It's really
ironically, nice. Nobody ever used it.
It's a shelf piece. I'll use it. What we'll probably do is we'll have an episode where we have to use it. And the next thing I bought, I was over at Kyle's today, stopped in to see him with Connor. Connor wanted to go over and visit.
Oh, I don't know about this. You didn't tell me what you got.
Kyle had a complete in box Sega Activator.
Shut up.
No, I have to talk. It's part of the show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 50% of it.
So you got that?
So I picked up the Activator.
What the hell is it? You didn't even tell me
It's out in the car, man.
Fucker.
Which probably has been stolen.
I was going to say, are the keys in it still?
Yeah, the keys are in it. It was running and now it's gone. It's a rental. Who cares? I got the insurance. But no, so I snagged that. I was because it was funny. Robbie and I were talking about it on the way home last night as I drove back. He and I were on the phone, and we were laughing about the U-Force. And then he said, have you ever used a Sega Activator? So the only time I've ever seen one set up was in the Angry Video Game Nerd video where he does the Christmas episode. Yeah. And the one dude's in it with him that's just hilarious. I think that guy's so funny. But then literally the very next day I'm sitting back in Kyle's office and I look over and there's a boxed one sitting there oh my God. I have to buy this stupid fucking thing. And I got it all out and I built it.
How does Kyle find this stuff?
Some of it's already just been sitting there and I've ignored it until I realized.
It's just astounding to me because I think about and most everybody knows clearly who Matteo is.
Do they?
Well, I'm sure they know more than I do. But you guys have seen that we had Matteo at Kyle's. And we posted the pictures, I think both on Facebook and Instagram, of you and Kyle and Matteo with the Power Gloves on.
Yeah, it was on Facebook and it was all over the place. I know.
And if you zoom in, because Matteo was so shocked by the stuff Kyle had, and that's another one of those things.
Oh yeah,
it's the dude gets all the stuff that's just wild that nobody gets.
And a lot of the times it's stuff that has been sitting there because the old owner would buy things and never put it out or sell it.
Yeah.
So he would just go and, I don't know, it would just sit on a shelf. So when Kyle bought the place, he bought all that stuff that has sat on the shelf in the back and nobody
still
ever
going through it.
So I go, because I'm I'm Mr. Fancy Pants. I get to go through it and like see it and go, well, with a SIG activator, I gotta have a SIG activator. How could I not have one of those? Like, what kind of an idiot collector would I be if I didn't have one?
True.
Yeah, it's true.
You'd be an idiot collector without one. Now you're an idiot collector with one.
Now it's very similar, yes. There's not a lot of disparity between the two, but
I feel like John meant to type, it's not worth trying out.
he said it's worth trying out.
And
I highly doubt that.
Robbie popped in.
Oh, is he here?
Just in time for the activator, he says.
He knows.
You are, my friend. You are.
So I'm going to, I didn't get a picture with it, but I'm going to go, let me see if I can hear. I'm going to go try and put this up on the live stream so people can see it real quick. Let me go over to our Wheel of Death, which is on the wrong one.
Death.
Let me go.
Would you just put that on the background image?
Hold on.
Okay. You want me to keep talking?
You talk. I'll do this.
Filibuster a little bit here?
Yeah, filibuster me.
Filibuster you. I go back to the Keith Morrison. Oh.
No, don't.
Oh.
Don't do that.
So John said it, nope. I said what I meant. It's an experience. I'm sure it's an experience.
Oh, that's like when I was watching the basketball tournament and they talked about the guard for Illinois and they said something happens whenever he's in. Well, that's not a compliment.
No.
That's very vague, man. Yes, something always happens when he shows up. It's the classic Mitch Hedberg where he's like, he didn't say whether or not I was good. He just confirmed that I was on television. That is that joke. All right, hold on.
God rest Mitch Hedberg. He was a good guy.
R.I.P.
Funny people.
Let me see if I can pull
Speaking
this.
of which, you hear Gilbert Godfrey died?
I don't know what that is.
Gilbert Godfrey.
I'm going to skip trying to pull this picture up because this is too much work.
We'll post it. We can post it on the...
Yeah, we'll get it up.
We'll post it on Facebook. And
yeah, so anyway,
Instagram
I added an
and all that
activator. So Gilbert Godfrey died. I can't believe it.
Yeah, that was a shame.
That was a horrible...
What?
Rest in power, King. Horrible impersonation of... That guy was the best. He'd be on those Comedy Central roasts, and he was like... The term savage, I feel like, was created because of him.
That dude, I'd never heard his stuff before until I heard an unedited roast. And he was roasting Bob Saget, rest his soul too. But he was talking about like having sex with people's dead grandmothers. Like it was bad.
No, it's a scene, man.
Like it was just, wow. Affleck. Yes, Affleck. I'm pretty sure he got canceled from that because of the stuff he said.
Yeah, who's to say, man? In these uncertain times.
Yes.
All right. So one more thing I got. It's not even one thing. It's a few things. Because I kind of we got to do the giveaway. That's the next thing we're going to do.
Yes.
But I am going to segue into the episode because one of the things I do when I get together with Jay and talk about the episode and what we're going to do is if there's a hole in my collection of something I want and it's going to be an episode we're going to talk about, I'll usually go out and find it. So I did that. This episode, our episode this week is going to be about
R-Type.
R-Type for the TurboGrafx 16. Now, we're going to deviate, right? We're going to talk about different platforms for it and where it came from and all that stuff. The tsunami joke did him in. Yeah, it's true. So that and the 9/11 jokes. Ooh. No, but so what I did was I went out and said, I don't have R-Type for the PC Engine, either one of them. And I don't have R-Type Complete for the PC Engine Super CD-ROM, or the Turbo Duo as it's known in North America. And then I didn't have R-Type for the Sega Master System. But that's all been rectified now. So if you're watching the live stream, you can see that they're all prominently displayed right in the middle there. I had a copy of R-Type in my hand for Sega Master System. It was complete, and I was out in like Xenia, which is a suburb of Dayton. And there's a store there that I always stopped at because they had good VHS tapes and they were cheap. It was one of the very few, it's GameSwap.
Yeah.
You could go there and they had like games, but they would also have VHS. And I was like, they were cheap. So I would go and get them because they're not always cheap. So I went, but they had a copy there one time, and I'm like, I don't know why I didn't buy it. I'm like, why did I buy that? And then I wound up buying it, and it didn't cost me much more, but I should have just bought it at that point. So anyway, we're going to do R-Type. There they are prominently displayed, but that's something I added to my collection. Now, it is time for the giveaway. I wish we would have done this a little earlier. So last episode, if you guys can remember from 4 or 5 years ago, last Olympics, when we did this.
Was that summer or winter?
It was Spring Olympics, buddy. It was weird COVID Olympics. So I'm gonna put up the wheel here, okay? But the last episode we talked about.
That's a clean copy.
Last episode we talked about giving away a copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night for PS1, and it is a greatest hits edition. Okay,
I can see it
so
with the board
if
up,
you can
so
see it
there it
over there to Jay's to my right, stage left. And what we said was you have to tell us the phone number you had to call to get hot tips about Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball.
Oh, God.
And for SNES, which I'm so glad that all of you watched that commercial because, man, what a banger that commercial was. So I also said if you give me the extension,
You get 2.
you get 2 entries. So there you go, man. We got all of our entries in our entry wheel here. All right. And we're going to give it a spin. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
You want to click it or you want me to click it?
Go ahead and click it.
All right.
Everybody can see it, right?
They can see it.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
It's on the stream there. Maybe I maximize it here and they can see it better. Nah, it's fine. I'll know. It'll pop. Ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Good luck to everybody and thank you all for
PlayStation
entering.
Greatest hits.
Here we go. Oh! RPG Bros wins. Man, Tape Flipper was right there.
Oh, poor guy.
I feel like I need to send Tape Flipper like a consolation prize. We're getting stickers and I got a couple other things. We got to send him something because, man, that was I thought he had it. Ugh. But I'm happy for RPG Bros. So thank you,
nice.
everybody, for entering. And congratulations to
RPG Bros.
Congratulations to RPG Bros. See, you got to give yourself a gap so when you edit it, it doesn't sound like you screwed up in the podcast. I'm going to cut out what you said and what I said when I messed up.
RPG Bros.
They're the winner.
RPG Bros.
They're the winner. RPEG Bros. It's like JPEG, right? RPEG Bros. I don't like that sound of that, actually, now that I think.
No.
Yeah, let's just go with RPG Bros. That's better.
RPG Bros. Is
But anyway, so.
But he's got himself a clean, he or she has, I'm assuming it's Bros, so this guy has a clean copy. It's a good looking copy. That's clean.
John says, one guy on YouTube was like, why is this so popular? The Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball video.
Oh, I thought he was talking about us.
Yeah. No. Well, there's that too. I don't think anybody's wondering why this is popular.
Well, I was thinking, he said one guy on YouTube, so I was thinking one guy on YouTube's probably watching us.
So I want to deviate a little bit.
Okay. Can you close that? It's kind of...
Yeah. I'm
Shut
gonna
off
close
my
it.
feng shui.
Don't worry.
They can't see us. They
Well-
can't see our beautiful faces.
It's gone now. And it's
Hello.
hidden. Well, I'll hide it.
So set this one.
I'm going to deviate from the norm here. And what I want to go to first, because we need to make a couple phone calls, and it's already around the time we said we'd call because we got a late start, and that story took way longer than I thought it would. So I think what we should do is the LJN game rating.
We're just going to jump right to the game rating, huh?
I think we could, you know what we could do?
What could we do?
We could call them now and then edit it so it sounds like we talked about it later. That's right. You're all pawns in this game.
All right.
I say we call him now.
We can do that.
All right. We're going to call Robbie. We're going to call him first because I know Robbie's had a long day and we want to get him out of the way. And then we'll talk to John.
If he didn't have that damn striking mustache and those 3 rings on his beanie.
And that stunt double.
Yeah, the 3 rings on
I
his...
really need to be able to share. I need to be able to
I'm
share.
not saying that name, but that
Yeah.
trash.
Anyway, I need to be able to share what's on my phone to this so people can see like pictures of that we like. I would have loved to be like, yeah, and stunt double Robbie, and then we could have pulled up what the hell we were talking about for context.
Oh, yeah, be a good idea.
That would have been great. All right, so let's give Robbie a call.
All right.
Let me make sure our levels are good here. Let's see here, Mr. Coleman.
I'm not going to hit yet. It's that one, right?
Hold on. I also should say, we'll edit this out too. They can't hear the songs that we play, and we're working on figuring out how to make that work better. I want them to be able to hear their theme songs, and we need to get Stunt Double Robbie on the show for sure. You're right, Valdor. I need to find out who that guy is. I'll talk to my contact and see what we can come up with.
Doesn't Robbie know the guy that directed that thing?
I'm not going to get into any of that.
Well, Robbie can ask him. Or we'll just get with your contacts.
Yeah.
We'll have your people call his people.
Let me call Robbie.
You know that stunt double's probably pretty popular now.
Hold on. Oops.
Did you connect your Bluetooth?
It was, and then it wasn't. That's what that noise was earlier. That's what it
Oh,
was.
because it dumped over to the stereo.
Yeah. Hold on. The Roadcaster dumped on me.
Trash.
Yeah, this is me being ill. There it goes. This is me being ill prepared. I'm flustered. I'm out of my sorts here. Here we go. There we go.
Hello.
And now, number 23, 6'6", from the University of North Carolina, Michael Jordan. Not bad. It's not Michael Jordan, everybody. It's 8-Bit Supremacy, Robbie Cohen. Robbie, how you doing?
I'm all right, man. I was about to correct you. I think I got the wrong guy.
Oh no! At first I thought you were Michael Jordan, and then I realized that I was looking at your stunt double, and it was actually just you.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought you were calling Jordan too.
I thought we had it there for a second, but I thought I had Jordan's number, and you're right next to Jordan in my. Okay. Anyway,
Robbie, you damn handsome man. How have you been?
I've been well. I feel like it's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah, I haven't talked to you in forever. I know you talk
been
to
a
Mike
month.
every once in a while, but I haven't talked to you since the last episode.
well, if you were listening, you know why. If anybody knows why, you and John know why. So, yeah. But anyway,
Because they dealt with us for 2.5 hours on that train wreck of an episode.
I mean, speak for yourself, buddy. I was eloquent, as
Ouch.
always. As always.
Good night, everybody.
Well, Robbie, it's just me and you now. Jay left forever. So, how you been, bud?
I've been well, man. I've just been working a lot, so I'm a little burnt. I think I was expressing that to you earlier today. I was like, I don't really want to watch the live stream, but I'll chime in and say what's up.
Yep, we won't
To
keep.
all my fans out there, you know.
That's right. Look, there are dozens and dozens of people who know who you are and listen to this. It's amazing. It doubles. What is the classic Al Bundy line when he's selling the 976 Rigney 976 shoe? And like,
I don't remember.
oh no. So Marcy is like, Steve gave Al a loan because Steve wanted to win a contest, knowing he should have never given Al a loan. Al's credit was not worthy, right? So then Marcy comes in and has to be the fixer, but she's pissed because Al took out this loan to be able to start a 900 number for shoe advice. It was 976 shoe, which is also 976 Rigney and all this stuff, right? So Marcy is like mad, and she wants to look at the books. Like she says, how many calls did you get? Dr. Shoe's files are confidential. None. You got 0. He goes, yeah, but tomorrow, twice as many. So, yeah, I'm right there with you. Anyway,
That's a great show.
it was a great show.
So what was the point of that?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
All right.
But I'm okay with that because I'm down with any reference to Married
Any
Children.
Married with Children reference. There was
Leave
something.
leave it in the episode.
I'm gonna.
Leave it in.
I don't remember what the point was. It was something about I've lost all train of thought. But anyway, so it's good to have you again, bud.
Hey, it's good to be here.
So today's subject matter is R-Type for the TurboGrafx 16. R-Type is a vertical shooter in which
Horizontal.
let's take that again. R-Type is a horizontal shooter in which you are strapped in at the helm of your Nectarian battlecruiser R9. The future of mankind rests on your shoulders. You must challenge and defeat the Bido Empire. What do you think? What do you think of this game? Give me your rating, if you will. Let's say there was a rating scale, and that you
I
had
forgot that we were doing a rating scale until you literally mentioned it moments before you called me. So I never had this in the back of my mind or thought about it too much. But off the cuff, I give this game a 5.
Dang.
It's basically solidified the shmup genre as a whole, and every single person, whether they love shmups or not, typically likes R-Type because it's kind of forefather of the genre, and it's been ported 5 million times to everything, and it's always fun every time you turn it on, even if you play it for 5 minutes or like go through the whole game. It's always fun.
See, for me playing it,
even if you suck at it or you're good at it, it's good. It's a fun game.
For me, playing it for 5 minutes is playing the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on my mood and my tolerance level.
Yeah, that can bring me my next point. It is a trial and error shooter, like where you need to really just kind of grind and learn about it. And if you want to get through the whole thing, I've only gotten through the whole game once on the original black and white Game Boy, as to my recollection, because I don't know, that's just the one I turned on that day and I got sucked into it, and maybe a day or two later I beat it. But like, I've only really played that version, and I own the Sega Master System version too, which you and I talked about like a week ago or something.
Yep.
And that version's sweet because Compile ported it, and it's very well done.
And Compiled, tell me, have they ever done any other shooters for any other platforms?
They've done a lot. They've done the Alesta series, most notably, which people probably recognize Musha on the Genesis. That's like the big boy, rare, expensive title, but also very good. They did Power Strike 1 and 2 on the Master System, all the Game Gear Alesta games. They did Robo Alesta on the Sega CD,
which I need.
All those are great. And as an aside, I might as well mention the Nintendo Switch compilation of it's an Alesta compilation, and it only came out in Japan, but you can get off Play Asia, and it's so much bang for your buck. You get all the Game Gear Alesta games and like an exclusive Game Gear Alesta game they made like last year, like with Game Gear hardware. Which is amazing.
You know,
on that compilation.
But you know what the best part about that is?
You can save $300 or $1,000 and not have to buy Power Strike 1 and 2 because it's on the compilation.
Well, that's one of them. But I was thinking more of the fact that you wouldn't have to play it on a Game Gear.
That is the best part. That was my incentive to fucking buy it, because I have a Switch Lite. I don't like when I use my lady's Switch when I want to dock it and play it on a big TV. But I have a Switch Lite, so it's only handheld mode, and I'm like, this is perfect for these like Game Gear ports because I feel like I'm playing a not shitty Game Gear.
Yeah.
Why did I just think when you said your lady's Switch, my bitch's Switch?
Yeah, I could have gone that route.
That's my Switch bitch.
You wanted to sleep on the couch tonight?
Well, she is not listening.
Yeah, that could also be like synonymous for like my side piece or something.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, it could.
My side piece Switch.
Yeah. That's what the Switch Lite is.
Yeah. Oh, wow. All right.
Okay, that was uncalled for, and I apologize.
I don't even understand what the joke was.
I don't either. It was supposed to. I don't know. I can't. My car was stolen. What do you want from me? I can barely tell you what day it is. Anyway, I digress.
Compile, man, I'm gonna be ashamed of myself if I'm getting this wrong, but didn't Compile do Truxton as well?
That sounds right. I don't know. Wasn't Truxton a Sega? That's a Sega licensed game, but I think they might have developed it.
Yeah, they did that a lot because they had Capcom.
Sure. No, yeah, of course.
Like a Sega game, but I want to say Truxton's compiled, and Blazing Lasers definitely is.
Yeah, another great game.
Is one of the best fucking shooters ever.
I love Blazing Lasers.
You talk about the great shooters of the past 2 decades. That's definitely at the top of the list.
So Truxton, originally developed by Toaplan and published by Taito and Midway. So, so not Compile.
No Compile.
Toaplan, Toaplan.
Yeah,
Toaplan. You know what their first shoot 'em up was?
Tiger Heli?
That is correct.
Wow. I redeemed myself. I redeemed myself with that.
You go and completely redeem yourself. That is, man, holy crap.
Are you impressed?
I'm not going to lie. That was the most impressive thing I've heard in quite some time. That was amazing. Nice job. So,
I only know that because I think there's like sort of recently read there's some Toaplan collection, and I was like, oh, Tiger Heli's on there.
Yeah, which I like.
I love Tiger Heli.
I like that game.
That was one of my first shooters aside from Galaga. Galaga got me into shooters to begin with. My first shooter that's not Galaga would have been Tiger Heli on the NES.
I would say my first NES shooter was Gradius, and the second one was that. And then what would you consider Cobra Triangle?
not a. Well, I guess that is kind of.
It's like an isometric river raid.
It's a strategy game more than a shooter.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It has you shoot bullets, but like, yeah, it's got racing elements and like
it's not a shooter.
It's a fucking unique game, and it's really awesome.
Yep.
And I was actually just talking about that with Matteo the other day because
it's too funny. Yeah.
Posted a picture of the title screen. And I was like, oh, this game is awesome. No one ever talks about it.
Yep.
Anyway.
Well, I like it. Anyway.
So
yeah. So 5.0 R-type certified banger is what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I just feel like it's one of those games. Even if you talk to people who like aren't deep into video game nerdiness like we are, and like you mention R-type, they'll be like, oh yeah, fucking love that game. Even if they're like just casual, video game players.
Right.
Typically, how that conversation goes, is in my experiences, but like,
yeah.
So it's just universally understood to be good. If you like shooters, I think even if you don't, you can probably find some enjoyment out of it. But like, it's hard.
It is.
But it's made in a way that kind of eases you in. Kind of. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm full of shit because I just haven't played it in a while. I don't remember if it's like masochistic hard or what. But
it's not masochistic hard. But I'll reserve some of this for my personal opinion. It is one of those games that like once you die, you might as well just fucking restart because it's like,
dude, yeah,
you
that's
get
Gradius.
You get to a point, and then you're like fully stacked with shields and bullets and all these things, and then you die, and it's like if I couldn't beat this area with that stuff, what makes you think I can without it? So, yeah, it's one of those games to me where it's like, I love it, but golly, come on, man.
I know what a lot of those compile shooters are like in general. Even I know compile is responsible for this game to begin with, but like, they are the kings of doing that shit. Like blazing lasers, you die in level one, second to last level, you might as well hit reset.
You might as well just go back to the beginning. Yep, and I love that game, but yes, I agree. So.
All right, man. Probably one of the hardest ones I ever beat in my life, and that's the same concept. Like literally, if I died once, I would literally be like, "Fuck," and just hit reset and start over again.
So Truxton is a good transition because I wanna talk for a minute about what's going on in a couple weeks, right? And I didn't mention this in the open, but I'm definitely going to be at Midwest Gaming Classic, right? I'm going to be there the whole weekend. I believe you're going to be there at some point. I don't know if you will or not. Sounds like you might.
Saturday.
So Saturday.
I'll be there on Saturday with my Switch bitch.
With your Switch bitch. Nice. I will not call her that at all when I see her. I've never met her. And I will never
don't make that first impression.
No, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, but so one of the things I'm going to do is we talked about this a little bit is I kind of have some things I want to buy, but I want to buy them in person. And Truxton is one of those games I'd like to try and find. Like,
oh, good luck. It's probably so expensive
now. I know, but it's just how it is now. So whatever.
It's all because of that classic game room guy. All he talks about. It's pretty funny actually.
Oh.
Just forever says things pertaining to Truxton and why they're not Truxton, and that's why they're inferior.
Well, anyway. But yeah, I'm going to look for games like Truxton, and then I'm also going to look for. I have 6 of the 18 or 20. Are you okay over there? Man, he's
killing me.
Drink some water or something.
I'm gonna go get some water.
On a chicken nugget. Coughing. I'm dry with those.
Choking on a chicken nugget. But I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna go and try and grab all the Black Cart Tengen games too. I have Tetris. I have like Tetris, Shinobi, Super Sprint. Like 6 of them. I can't remember. They all start with R or S or T. they're all like that. But yeah, I think I'm going to go and try and find as many of those as I can.
If you remember, from our conversation, when you first mentioned this collecting goal of yours, I'm pretty sure I have at least Pac-Mania, Afterburner, and one other in my extras bin.
Well, you might need to bring them with you, buddy.
Well, if a certain someone wasn't so stingy about their Indiana Jones Tengen box.
Stingy.
That I specifically need to complete my CIB Tengen black box set. My CIB Tengen NES set.
But I don't want to get rid of any of my boxes I don't have 2 of.
You don't got to. It's just the only one I need.
Don't worry
about it, though.
I know, man.
That's your conscience, man. That's your conscience.
Yeah, I know. I'm such a terrible guy. Hey, remind me real quick. You have a copy of Golden Axe Warrior for the Master System, right? And I don't have one, but
some guy Someone gave me that. I don't remember who.
Some
it was. We did
sucker
some kind of
probably.
raid.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah. Robbie, Jay says don't worry. He'll sell to you for $5.
Nice.
You sucker.
Always
Anyway.
coming through.
Well, yeah, always coming through with the plug. Awesome. So, yeah, we're going to see each other in a couple weeks. I got a few things to deliver to you otherwise, too, including your Sega CD and the official Sega CD screw. So,
Yep.
And,
The
yeah,
official screw.
yeah, well, you know how it be. You don't think it'd be that way, but it do. But it's screw.
Yeah. Should
So,
be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. And even though I don't buy anything.
You and I are going to get our tits signed by Metal Jesus Rock.
Wait, no. Which one of us gets Metal Jesus and the other one gets rocks on their tits?
Oh, nice.
Maybe he'll do both.
Maybe.
Maybe
Maybe we can go up and serenade him with his own theme song.
Oh, God.
That would be awesome, actually.
What's that say? Talk to the audience. Oh, this part is always death. No, there's quite a lineup of people that are going to be at Midwest Gaming Classic. Almost too many to ignore. I'm going to try, though.
No, it'll be easy. It's fine.
No, I'm kidding. I want my tits signed, says John. Well, we can talk about that when we call you. Yeah, buddy, look, Robbie, you want the left one or the right one? We can do it. Jay, you draw the LJN logo on them.
Done. Sold.
We'll bring some
So
rainbow.
anyway,
I just want Robbie to put some mustache wax on and just start motorboating everybody with it.
now you're
Okay.
talking.
Yeah. Now
yeah,
you're talking, he says.
So yeah, R-Type.
Yeah,
R-Type.
yeah, that's what this show's about. Sure, go ahead.
I don't think I have much else to say. Oh, it is a long-lasting series. I guess I played the recent one, the R-Type Final 2 for
Yep.
the Switch,
Yep.
and it kicked my fucking dick in the whole time until I finally just kept trying, and I got through it, and I was like, boy, that was exhausting, and took me a week or two of really trying.
It's like how do I put this? It's the Ninja Gaiden syndrome where it's like, well, we made one hard game once, so now they all must be difficult. Even
Yeah.
the Xbox games or whatever, it's like, nope, they've got to all fucking suck to play. Not suck, but you know what I mean? They all have to be a pain in my ass. You can't just have a Ninja Gaiden game and be like, oh, this will be a fun experience where I don't get mad and rage throw my Nintendo out the window. You know? It's always, it's like they get married to that ideology or whatever it is. So, but anyway, I digress.
Kind of appreciate it, but there was definitely a point in R-Type Final 2, because I think you choose your own path after each level, there's branching paths and stuff to go to different stages, and I think I literally couldn't get past a stage going a certain path, so I just had to start over and go a different way, and I was able to progress, but
Yeah.
some of them were just literally too hard for me, and I consider myself pretty decent at shmups if I can beat Blazing Lasers and
Oh,
stuff. So.
if you could beat R-Type on the Game Boy, you're a god amongst men as it relates to shooters. First of all, you had to play R-Type on the Game Boy.
I did it on an SP.
Okay,
Fine.
but still, right?
Yeah, still.
Okay. That does soften the blow a little bit. But I wouldn't tell people that. I'd just tell them I beat the game. Don't tell
I did
people
it
that.
on the old-fashioned green.
Yeah, the
Huge
monochrome,
Game Boy,
non-backlit DMG01, baby.
That's right. Yep, under a nightstand lamp.
Yeah, right. Exactly. In the bathroom, as we all did. Let me run to the bathroom. That's the best light. All right, man. Well, thank you.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Well, I'll see you.
Anything else for me?
I'm going to see you in 2 weeks and 2 days or something like that. I don't know. What's today? Thursday?
Coming up real fast.
Yeah. I'll see you at the end of the month, man. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
All right, man.
We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good episode.
Sounds good.
See you,
All right,
Robbie.
later. Bye. Later, Jay.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh,
Talk, man. I'm doing something.
I am talking. We got Robbie's feedback. Now I think it's round 2.
Your boy fight all the time, Pip. Your old boy fight.
Oh, is it? We got Robbie's calling us back.
Oh, well, let's get
Hold
back
on. I
with
can't
Robbie.
call you yet, John, because Robbie's calling us back. Hold on. Yes.
I recently picked up R-Type DX on the Game Boy Color.
Who is this? Uncle Leo? So I'm sorry. Say that again, sir. State your name for the record, please.
Michael Jordan, and I picked up R-Type DX for the Game Boy Color Complete in Box recently. That's all. See you later.
That's awesome.
Robbie Coleman, everybody.
Not bad.
All right.
Are we ready to call the Famicom legend?
We're ready to call the Famicom box legend, the Famicom legend, the one and only RGE. He's the notorious RGE. Ooh, what's going on here?
Oh, I text John.
Oh, I see.
My bad.
Yeah.
I forgot you were in that.
Yeah, I had my voicemail. I never have that thing up. Yeah, so the notorious RGE.
Notorious RGE. I love it.
Yep. You ready?
Ready.
All right.
Is he ready?
He better be because we're late.
We are late.
Let me go on my recent calls because I talked to him for a minute yesterday.
Hey, sir.
And now, straight from the mean streets of Kansas City, Missouri, the one and only notorious RGE retro game enthusiast John Young. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, man. That Magmax music is a banger. I actually heard that.
That's a sick track, brah.
Boom.
Certified.
It is, man. It's on my Getting Swole jams.
You know what else you need on there? Is a little bit of this. I think you need this one on there. If you're gonna get swole.
Oh yeah.
No hype mix tape playlist for working out and getting swole would be complete without the theme to Slam City by the one and only Scottie Pippen, which apparently we only talk about Chicago Bulls NBA basketball players and the Bucks when Mattio's around, but it's only the Bulls otherwise. Go ahead.
I like the idea of just like a really like swole bro, like with that song just blaring like on his like Walkman, not even like headphones, just so that the women around know that he's not like checking him out.
No, not at all. He's too busy trying to get respect. And also buy shoes out of a van while he signs a contract or whatever the hell's going on in that game. All right, anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, John, how are you?
Yeah. Hey.
Pretty good, man. How's it up there in the Michigan area?
Well, other than the stolen car, everything's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. No, all is well here. So
Good.
How's everything on your end with the gig and the house and the
Yeah, interest rates suck right now. Let's not talk about mortgage rates.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, everything's good, man. Work's going fine, all that sort of thing. I did get a pickup because I do want to talk about that. Lavage, the Dan the Automator and Mike Patton thing came out on vinyl. I did not know. So it's Nathaniel Mayweather's presents Lavage, music to make love to your old lady by.
Or your switch bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Music to fuck your switch bitch by.
It is a beautiful album nobody ever talked about. So
we are the world. We are the children. We are the
Gradius,
ones.
right? I haven't been paying attention. That's the one we're talking
yes,
about.
Gradius.
Anyway,
it's our type.
Gradius.
I'm going to let you. Okay, so I'm going to ask you your thoughts on R-Type, and it can be specific to TurboGrafx and the port or whatever version you've played. Okay, no problem there. And while you do that, Jay's going to listen, and I'm going to run to the refrigerator and get something to drink. So, you go, and I'll be back in 1 minute.
And real quick, Jay, I think I misnamed your beer. I do believe Peachy Pom Pom may still be called Peachy Pom Pom. So
it is. I forgot. I totally forgot about it. It's I think they do it like every other year.
Sounds
they
about
used
right.
to do it in 6 packs, and now they do it in like I think it's like a 22 now.
Okay. Yeah, that hasn't made it out to Kansas City. We don't really have the beer thing down here, so but that's fine.
Dude, if you want anything, let me know. I'll mule it down to you. I got you.
Honestly, I don't really drink anymore, and so
Mike's in the background just yelling.
Fridge, so.
No, I'm not.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, no, I hear him.
Okay.
Goddamn right.
Oh God, he's a star.
What you want to get? Want to get respect. All right.
I like how he wants you and I to keep talking, John, and then we got Mike in the background screaming.
I just think it's funny when someone off camera is yelling. You should
Yeah.
try it, Jay.
I hope he's not driving.
Apparently he's not going to be. Well, Ronald had the keys
Go
in it.
downstairs and take his keys away from him.
Go downstairs and get his keys out of his car. Oh, terrible. Oh, terrible. I think, hold on. Robbie just posted real quick. I think we need to retire Switch Bitch before we get canceled. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
No, I'm all for it.
And then Valdor said that we
at
may
least one of
lose
my
our
coworkers
sponsors.
Knows that this is a thing.
What's
I have
that?
no affiliation with that. Well, at least one of my coworkers knows this is a thing now.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah,
Maybe
we
young
don't.
person.
Yeah, okay, that the Switch Bee's canceled. No more. No more Switch Bee.
No, here's what I got to say about that. And okay, I will completely respect Robbie's position, but I think Robbie's more worried about getting canceled than we have it. I have no concerns about being canceled over the term
I don't
Switch
think he's
bitch.
worried. I think he's more worried his stunt double might get canceled. And we're working on getting him on the show.
Are we?
I think we should.
I'd love to have even just like a little side quest of Robbie and his like little friends.
Robbie and
gotta
his
be
little
the smallest
friends.
First of all, yeah. Second of all, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so crass and interrupt and yell off camera, but it was funny. I thought it was funny.
No worries.
Well, at least somebody did.
I'm old. I have a thick skin. You guys, you know how that is.
Yeah, Robbie doesn't want to stunt double in hot water. That's pretty,
no, it's fair.
He's got the stunt double. Robbie's got his whole career ahead of him.
You know,
Come
I'm
on,
starting
he
to think
can't-
that actually the name Switch Bitch would be applicable to the stunt double because you switch him in and he's kind of the bitch guy. So
No, stunt double Robbie.
no, I'm just saying it could.
No, because that would be the Switch Stash.
We could call him SB.
Switch Stash.
Yeah.
Stash Bitch.
No, just Switch Stash.
Little.
That's not as good. Switch Bitch rhymes, and you know it rhymes.
We're trying to get viewers back. We're down to 2. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
And the 2 are Robbie and John.
All right.
I might
You're
still
right.
be logged
So
in too.
politics. No.
Oh, jeez.
Good night, everybody.
So, R-Type. So I played the Sega Master version. Full disclosure, this was one of the few that my neighbor had, and it's a game that we played a lot of. One thing I could say that I don't know if we've touched on yet because I kind of came in a little late. For a Sega Master System game, the music on this is phenomenal. Like, it's not a system known for its music, and for R-Type, it starts off a little wonky, but then it goes into like an amazing kind of like level by level soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I looked it up. We'll forget about Salamander on the Famicom. But Gradius came out only like 6 months earlier than R-Type.
Yep.
And like, I mean, aesthetically, like, it's so much better game. Sega Master System, there's a lot of flicker. There's ways to get around that now. But like, of the arcade games you could get at home, this was definitely in that time period where it was perfect. And kind of what Robbie said, like, it's the kind of grandfather of any like game that has some sort of special extra add-on is just playing homage to the original R-Type. So I went back and forth on this a lot, and legitimately, as a Sega Master game, I would say it's one of the best games on the system. It's still decently cheap. I mean,
Yeah, we'll get into that,
these
but
days.
yes, it is. Surprisingly.
And, I'm with Robbie. It's a 5. Like,
Oh.
it's a game everybody should play. Like, people that don't play games anymore still love it.
Yeah.
Sure, it's hard. Sure, it's kind of cruel and kind of like making you go back to the beginning of the level. But you know what? It's an arcade game, and everybody gets enjoyment out of it.
And sometimes you have to understand, and this is just like something that's predisposed in some people and not others. Not every game needs to be beaten. Now, Robbie would disagree with that. Okay. I think, you know, I understand that. Like when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do. But there are times where you go, you know what? it's fine. It can be a great game, and I cannot finish it. You know what I mean? It can, and that's that's just kind of the way it is. So, anyway, well, thank you. Yeah.
And I like the visual of Robbie as a young boy. Let's call him his stunt double. Like let's get. I will put money in on this. Get the stunt double underneath like a street light, playing Game Boy just at an angle, trying to beat R-Type.
We need to find out who this guy is. I'll reach out to the guy who knows him and see if I can get his info because we want to have him on because he's going to become this legend.
Who's that?
I'm sure he will, but we definitely have to like ease him into how we're talking about this because if he is, he could see it as a little bit of a slight. But it's I'm all for him. I'm a fanboy. I will give him a cut of the headshot.
Well, I'm in. You know me. I mean, you don't have to convince me.
But no, man. Back to R-Type. Amazing game, great music, fun gameplay, just enough challenge so everybody can kind of get through it. Just enough like ease so that you can get far enough to get an enjoyment out of it. All around, play this game.
But I don't know what more of a ringing endorsement you can give it.
Yeah. I'm honestly right now I can't think of many Sega Master System games that I like more. Maybe Trick Shooting, Gangster Town, pretty much any of the gun games. Golden Axe Warriors.
I think this is not a conversation about Sega Master System, but yes, there are.
I love it.
I like the Master System, but man, it's how do I put this as eloquently as I can? There's no surprise looking back why Nintendo ate Sega's lunch.
No, that's an argument we need to have. Teddy Boy, come on, that's an amazing game.
Yeah, no, that's well, I put it right up there with Ghost House, Govelius.
All right,
Govelius.
We'll have this.
That's another episode.
How about oh man, what's the one? Zillion.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Sure,
Anyway,
why not?
Let's have that conversation sometime.
So let's see if I can do this here and get
back up to the game.
What's that?
Should we get back to R-Type?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, I go ahead.
No, I think I said my piece.
All right. I got nothing, man. I'm sorry. Fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna have to edit all that out because man, I was like dead air for a second there. I'm sorry.
No, leave that in. People need to know. People
need to know that you're not paying any attention, Mike. Like it was like I was sitting there looking at my phone while you talked, and I wasn't. But anyway,
that's what people do when I talk about mess, as I call it,
or Super Master System, or Smiths. Is that what Smiths? Yeah. When I talk about Smiths, people just get on their phone because no one wants to talk about Smiths.
Is that like McDonald's and McDowell's?
No, this is actual.
So the Big Mac, we got the Big Mick.
No, I don't think that's fair.
SNES.
No, Smith maybe, but they're not. No,
I'm going with McDowell's.
In the Patreon, what level do I have to be to have the Married with Children Simpsons watch party?
I would say that in that tier there will be a specific tier for that. So we will create one. It will not be the top tier. Okay,
that'll be the 75-cent tier.
Yes. I don't expect people to spend that kind of money monthly to listen to us.
I'm sorry, that'd be the 45-cent tier.
Yeah, probably in the 45 to 50 cent range. But yes,
the no ma'am tier.
The no ma'am. That's right. The no ma'am tier. Which I have that shirt and I just don't think I can wear it anymore.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie just said we need to stop saying NES and SNES.
I 100% agree.
NES and SNES.
Okay, that was quite funny.
I would agree with Robbie actually on that. I feel like the whole UKification of a system they didn't care about, we need to stop that.
That's a SMES.
That's not. Nobody needed that.
I gotta stop.
You do need to stop. Jeez. Okay. Well, John, thank you for joining us. And I wish you were going to be joining us in wonderful Milwaukee, Wisconsin in a few weeks, but you're not. So That's fine.
Yeah, it's Algonquin for Milwaukee.
Wow, I
High.
really turned into a Debbie Downer on this whole thing, didn't I?
No, you've got a lot going on yourself, and I don't think it's fair that you be chastised because you have a life and you're an adult and you need to do adult things. So I'm not gonna get on you for that. But you really should be there, you loser.
We still got to figure out something to go to Chicago and have this Mortal Kombat competition this summer.
If only I could had
And
a
John,
car.
you got to go.
If only I had a car. Yeah. So let's cut John loose.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you. Unless you want to stick, I mean, you're welcome
being
to
shown
stick.
out. No,
You
no,
can stay as long as you'd like, sir. Always. You can
No, I'm not adding value.
John, you always add value.
We'll talk offline, but yes, you are.
All right, cool.
So
No, thanks, guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think. I'm hoping it's 3s so that we finally have some sort of disparity between everybody. But
Damn it, I was going to say a 5.
you're gonna say, well, then you can go next. John, you want to stick around for his review?
no. I'm going to listen.
No. All right. Very good.
All right. See you, Jen.
All right.
Bye, John.
John Young, the retro game enthusiast, the notorious RGE himself.
Notorious RGE.
Purveyor of Magmax and Magmax ephemera.
Well, should I tell everybody where to find us?
No. That's an inside joke, everybody. That's the notes he's talking about. The notes.
We're at the end of the show.
We are not. I'm going to need that back.
Okay.
All right.
I noted Robbie and John.
You still have to do a review. I still have to do a review. And Sashimi Z needs to do a review.
We didn't even talk about the game.
Yes, I understand that, but we're going to put this all in one concurrent chunk that will move to the end, right?
Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that then. Huh?
We'll chalk all this out.
I mean, we got to talk about the game so much. Now we're on to the reviews.
Yeah. Like I said earlier in my discussion of the game, as Jay unplugs himself and walks off, which is the right move. So, Jay, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first? Do you want Sashimi Z to go first?
I'll go first.
I'd say we get Sashimi Z out of the way.
Okay, go ahead. Do Sashimi Z. Then I'll go, then you go.
Sashimi Z's review is as such. Sashimi Z gave this game a 4.5. And the only thing it says here is, I ain't giving this game no 5 like everybody else. I'm here to ruin your graphic.
Well,
That's malicious.
this is why we haven't had him out. How long has it been since he's done a review for
Well,
us?
it's been a while, but really, I think he's just doing it to like make sure that there's no continuity in the graphic itself. He's assuming that everybody's going to give this game a 5, and that's a big assumption. Okay? I don't think that's fair. But he said 4.5 because I'm guessing he liked it, and he probably really liked it, but he just really wanted to spite us. Why do we keep this guy around?
You keep asking me. I've been saying I don't know why we keep him around. Because we don't have enough guests. We need to get more guests.
Yeah, it's so we don't have enough friends.
Yes. Oh, what was that?
That was
Oh, somebody got on.
I don't really know.
I don't know.
Somebody followed us, and I don't have the overlay.
We still haven't figured out how to navigate this
Yeah,
yet.
somebody. Asa Burke liked our stream.
Aw,
So good old Asa.
Ace is a good dude.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. So yes, Jay, why don't you give me, now that we have that in pocket, right? Give me your review, and I'm gonna go find something else to drink because I never really got anything.
No, you didn't. What were you doing?
I really don't. I was yelling.
Oh yeah.
I might do it
You were too
again.
busy yelling.
That guy is day old fishy. Yeah. Yeah. Sashimi Z is day old fishy.
Yeah, he is. That's probably a good explanation of Shizimi.
You know, it reminds me, that was John, retro game enthusiast. And it reminds me of one of my favorite lyrics that the notorious RGE ever said. When he said, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, when we was flat broke, yo, who could picture this? But we need to change those lyrics so we talk about the Sega Master System and TurboGrafx 16.
Or just change it to NES and SNES.
No, Smiths and Tug 16. Smiths Tug. Anyway, enough of all that. We're
Smith's
derailing. Go,
chocolate.
give me your LJN game rating as I get something to drink.
I can do that. You want me to talk really loud, or can you hear me okay? You can hear me okay? Just nod. Okay, you can hear me okay. So he's listening. Everybody's listening. No, mine, it's killing me because I got to go with Shizimi Z. I'm doing a 4.5. And it's not because I'm screwing up the whole graphic here. I like the game, I do. But R-Type for me actually fell in after Life Force. I didn't play R-Type until after Life Force. I lean towards Life Force. I know they're not the same, but they're similar.
No, one's good.
Life Force.
Right.
I mean, yeah, doesn't everybody agree? Life Force is the good one. But no, I think part of it is, like you were saying earlier when we were talking about the game, is it's the whole, it's, yeah, sure. Actually, yeah.
You get the peach. I want the cherry. You had the cherry last time.
I had peach already.
Tough titties.
Damn it.
You don't
Okay.
get
I'll
gold.
take peachy. Okay. All right.
As I walk in front
So we'll
of the
pause
shop,
for a
like
second.
amateur.
I'll come back in on it.
Finish your story.
Yeah, well.
Clearly Canadian. Sparkling water beverage
Hey,
with all
zip
natural ingredients.
I'm trying to make this edit easy.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. You're going to do it, so who cares?
Zip it. Is that clearly Canadian? Yes, sir, it is. Okay, now we're back in.
Maybe. Maybe I'll bring you some. What's your favorite flavor, Robbie?
This is getting way too weird.
Yeah, it is. That was not good. I'm sorry I even said that. Yeah, I will bring you some, though, and it won't be that weird. Just tell me what you like, and I'll bring it. I don't care. Oh, shit. All over the new thing.
Bro.
Indiana Jones Tengen. Screw you, Coleman.
Okay, but yeah, the 4.5 is part of that is what you were talking about earlier, where it's one of those, if you die, you just have to reset the game. Because you're not going to get any farther with it. Because it's just, if you couldn't do it with everything you had, you can't do it with nothing. And that's just where it's a hot mess. It's almost as hot of a mess as clearly Canadian
This show right now.
all over everything.
All right, I'm done.
The
All right.
wheels have come off. And we got 4 people on here now.
Shit.
But that's mine. That's
So,
my
4.5,
my score.
huh?
4.5.
Man, so now what do we do?
Now you got to give your rating, our rating. You got to give our rating. If you're a pirate, it would be your R rating.
Shut up.
That was terrible.
That was almost as bad as every joke I've ever told on this show. Almost. This is a tough one for me because I'm in the Robbie camp of this is like the Dragon Warrior of horizontal shooters. Okay. Like it kind of created and defines the genre, right? And the turbo port is amazing. Okay. The turbo port is very, very good. The Sega Master System, like I said, it's one of the best games on the platform. Not saying much, but it is.
For the Master System, it's a great looking game.
Yeah,
It really is.
I just think that it was always. I feel like it was always kind of handled well, but it is at times impossibly difficult because, like you said, and we talked about earlier, you get to a point where you are fully enabled with power-ups and then you die and then they go, well, now you have nothing and try. Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't get through it with everything, so let me try and get through it with nothing. That'll work. Let me get this one power. Okay, that kind of helps, but I can't get hit. And then there's a lot of stuff going on here. So it's I don't know. I don't think I can give this game a 5. I think I'm going to...
You want to Matty Ice it and Marky Mark and give it a 4.73?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I'm not an idiot.
Man, they're not idiots.
No, they're not either. But I'm not giving it some weirdo...
I know, their grading skill kills me too. I love those guys, but their grading skill's trash.
I want to give this a 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I really didn't think you'd go that low.
I want to give it I think it is a very good game, and I like it, and it's very good. It can be a pain in the ass. No, I think 4 or 5.
Thank you. Because I was going to say, if you go 4, you know Shazimi, because he's listening, he's going to call you after we're done.
I won't answer.
Do you want the voicemail like he left you last time?
Yeah, those are good. I enjoy them. I
That
keep
one was
them.
terrible.
I save them in my Dropbox.
I couldn't believe some of the things he was saying.
Yeah, well, where do you think the term switch bitch came from, buddy?
Oh, good Lord.
Anyway, all right. So now we're going to time warp back to the actual kind of beginning of the show where we talk about the release and stuff, because we really wanted to get the LJN rating stuff out of the way because we had some people who were waiting on phone calls, and I didn't want to keep them up all night. So
I mean, Robbie and John.
no,
Me?
No,
Oh, okay.
I got to call some people. It's none of your business. Why is everything your business?
Oh.
It's not. Anyway, yes, it was Robbie and John. So anyway, this is an interesting game because I want to talk a little bit about the release of this game.
Let's do it.
Perfect, because I want to.
All right.
So R-Type was a really unique release because on the PC Engine, which is how it was originally released, and it was released in March of 1988. This game came out in May of 87 for the arcade. It was a huge hit. I think it said it got it was the runner-up in the 8-bit game of the year in the arcades or whatever it was. And it was that popular in Japan. And it finished second to what? Remember what it finished second to?
Oh, I can't remember now. You're gonna have to tell me. I forgot.
Operation Wolf.
Operation Wolf.
It's Operation Wolf. It was not Bill Lambier. I wish it was Bill Lambier. Bill Lambert. That just goes Mr. Sports guy over here with the sports references. Bill Lambert.
John does like the sports ball.
But anyway, so yeah, this game came out in May of 87. Okay. And then they decided being Irem. Irem is the developer, and I'm
For
sorry.
the arcade, yes.
We don't have the notes laid out the way I want because of everything that's been going on in my life. But Irem was the developer of this game. They put it out in the arcades. They also did the port to TurboGrafx PC Engine in Japan. So when they put this game out in Japan on the PC Engine in 1988, the limit on HuCards, which is the platform you used for the PC Engine TurboGrafx, was 2 megabits, which is, if you really actually do the math, is 256K, because a megabit is 8 megabits would be 1 megabyte.
Yes.
So 2 megabits is going to be 256 kilobytes. Okay. That is a very small amount of memory. Okay.
Back then, it was a lot, though.
It was the theoretical limit at the time of the HuCards. So what they had to do was they released this game in 2 pieces. They released R-Type 1,
which is over here,
and R-Type 2,
which is right next
okay.
to it.
And R-Type 1 was the first 4 levels, 8 levels to this vertical shooter, right? Or horizontal shooter. I keep doing that because I'm a moron. But and they released that in March of 88, which is only 10 months after the game came out. So to me, I'm like, that's a pretty quick turnaround to move from an arcade, which was very popular, right, to a home game platform, especially back then, where it's like, I don't know, man, that seems like a quick turnaround. That's pretty good though. And then they put the other 4 levels on R-Type 2, which came out in June, which was what? That's 3 months later, essentially, that they put it out.
Which is still crazy to think about it's one complete game.
Right.
So when we say R-Type 1 and 2 for the PC Engine, that's
still
the first 4 levels, the second 4 levels.
That's
of R-Type.
R-Type for the TurboGrafx.
Yes.
By the time that came out in the US, which was November of 89, you could get a 4 megabit HuCard, no problem. RAM had come down in cost, and being able to have a larger memory on a HuCard was possible. Yes. So they were able to put the entire game on one release, right? Like one HuCard. So, but yeah, so I always thought that was interesting that it was broken up. And then if you had purchased R-Type 1 and you finished it, the first 4 levels, they would give you a password that you would use. I think hit I don't want to say start and select, because that was usually how you would reset.
I think it was 1 and select.
One and select is how, that's a whole other thing on the other one. 1 and select is how you do the little trick on the US version. I don't remember.
Maybe that's what I was reading.
But it's something you put in a key code, and then you were able to go put the password that you were supplied for beating the first 4 levels, and then you could continue with your game and whatever you had. And I just knocked something over. But hold on.
Nope. We got something going on here. But we are talking about the R-Type. So
fan issue, man.
Anyway. Good? Okay.
So I thought that was interesting. Like, how often do you see a game, like the complete game is literally split in half, and you have to buy, I mean, nowadays with DLC and people buying games that aren't done, and the whole Cyberpunk 2077, but back then it was like you converted a game, or you ported it, or you wrote it for a platform, and you put it out. And it was very rare that you saw a game like broken up like that. So I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, Sonic and Knuckles versus Sonic 3 is a good example where like it's like not really a complete version of something, and then they finished it by by releasing it later. But you could play those independently, kind of. You didn't need Sonic 3 to play Sonic and Knuckles, but you could play with Sonic 2 and so yes, it's a good point. But that was after, right? Obviously. But yeah, anyway, so I always thought that was interesting that, R-Type had this weird kind of not stigma, but like lore about it, because when I was a kid, I had no idea. I was like, why is there an R-Type 1 and an R-Type 2? It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, but R-Type 2 is not R-Type 2. It's part 2 of R-Type 1.
Yes.
Anyway, I digress. It's like a double VHS. That's exactly right. But you had to buy one half of the movie in March, and then the other half you could buy in June. It's like the Who Shot Mr. Burns. We putting those on 2 VHS. Anyway, so why don't you tell me a little bit about the gameplay and story of R-Type?
Yeah, I can. I was looking to see what those codes were. I couldn't find them again. I had them earlier.
I don't care.
Okay, well, if you don't care. Either way, whatever.
Listen, man, nobody cares, okay? Get to the gameplay and story.
All right.
When are they going to get to the fireworks factory?
Never.
Go ahead.
So strapped in the helm of your Nectarian battlecruiser, the R9, the future of mankind rests on your shoulders. Or mine, either one. No?
I don't know.
Whoever's playing, I guess.
Yeah, I imagine it's the
shoulders.
protagonist is the guy playing. Yeah. Not me right now, but later maybe.
Yes.
Earlier,
possibly.
yes.
Yes.
But now not.
So, and it's challenging you to defeat the Bido Empire. It's a side-scrolling shooter, horizontal side-scrolling shooter.
So the Bido Empire, what is... I'm going to try to be as sensitive as I can about this.
Yeah.
What is the Eastern culture fascination with weirdo alien stuff? There's some stuff. There's something going on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I wonder if it's the fascination with the art piece, because a lot of the stuff was. I mean, if you dig into it, a lot of it was based off of H.R. Geiger artwork, which is basically the basis for Aliens, all those movies.
Right.
Which a lot of if you look at this on the cover, I guess it looks like it's a video game of Alien or Aliens.
It's interesting. It's an interesting art style that I like Blazing Lasers better. I'm fighting ships and stuff, and it's cool. It's just weird, man. It's like Contra. Like the whole thing is you're fighting these aliens at the end, and I'm like, that's a weird looking alien.
Oh.
All right, that's all I got. Go ahead.
That's all I got. Okay.
I just want to make sure it wasn't just me. It is.
Nope,
That's always.
I knocked everything over.
Go ahead.
I'm a hot mess.
All right, so it's a side-scrolling shooter.
Yes.
Right?
Horizontal.
Yes.
I realize how big this new table is. I can't reach.
Yeah. We got a new table and a new table cover, and see if we can get a shot of it in there eventually. But it's got the logo on it, which I thought was nice.
We post on the
we'll get it on there
on the social media pages
but anyway.
later. So, but yeah, gameplay and story. I mean, that's pretty much the basics of it. So there's really not a whole lot to it. I mean, there's
8 levels.
Yeah,
there's
8
a number
levels.
of power-ups. You can get shields. You can get lasers. You can get additional guns or whatever it is, whatever you want to call them, like the extra floating turrets or whatever that help shoot. Sometimes you can shoot straight horizontally. Sometimes you shoot at a 45-degree angle. And there's a varying number of power-ups. The real problem, as we talked about at times, is... Man, the puzzle element. Okay, we got it. I'll get you. Don't worry. Robbie's killing us on the puzzle element here. I know, man.
He could have talked about this when he was on.
Yeah, you see, he should have. Look, he can call back if he wants to talk about it. Like I'm
Bro.
But it's now I've completely lost my train of thought. Thanks, Robbie. This is why I don't look at the chat when I'm talking.
You're talking about the puzzle elements.
No, I was not. That is not true. That I know. I am 100% sure that was not the case. But no, it's just one of those like you die and then it's so much more difficult. Like I wish that you kept your stuff. I wish that you kept all your power-ups because I always kind of get to the same point in this game and I'm going to have to watch a video to kind of learn how to get through it because I get to the same point in this game and then I die And I try different things, but I always wind up dying. And then I'm there butt naked.
Robbie Coleman. All the time, Tip.
Who?
You're on point, Fife. All the time, Tip. You're on point, Fife.
It's
All
even
the
better
time.
when Q-Tip's on it.
What is it, little girl? Oh, hold on. Go ahead.
I heard we're talking about the puzzle element of R-Type.
Yes.
You are correct, sir.
I don't really want to talk about it, but I just wanted to derail you from whatever you were talking about in the moment.
The good news is I don't remember, so this is perfect.
Exactly. But now that we're here, we might as well talk about the puzzle element.
Yeah.
And why,
let's-
Robbie, would we do that? Because I'm bad. Robbie's bad.
Tell me about the puzzle element. It's something I hadn't thought about, Robbie.
It's there.
Don't worry, John. You haven't missed the puzzle element yet.
It's
It's
there.
there. It's
John,
present.
John says, I just stepped away. Did I miss the conversation on the puzzle elements? Good luck recutting this. Yeah, this is Jay's problem now. yeah, remember that smartass. Good. So, Robbie, yeah, tell me
So
about
there's this game. It's a shooter where
Is
you move from left to right.
Is it called R-Type?
Horizontally, that is. And
Not vertically?
There's this puzzle element to it, and it's really hard, and you shoot stuff, and then the game's over.
And stuff.
That's it. I don't know what it's called. The name's escaping me at the
It's
moment.
something type.
Is it Typing of the Dead?
Or something? I don't know, but
I don't
you're
know.
gonna have to figure that out. Edit that in later.
Yes, sir.
Post-production.
Is it Gradius?
Yeah, that's it. Blazing Lasers. That's right.
Blazing Lasers. That's it.
Mhm.
Knew Robbie know this. Blazing Lasers.
But there's a puzzle element in general in R-Type that I think made it stand out more than other shooters. Up until that point, at least. I think that was what they're going for, where the giant bosses had memorization, and like you had to shoot the little ball thing to trap it on different sides of the boss and stuff, so it would do damage and like a target you couldn't otherwise hit on your own if you're just playing a standard shooter.
Let me ask you this. Would you relate it to something like Mega Man? Like the Mega Man games? Whenever I think of pattern recognition and like that kind of thing, that's the first thing I always think of.
Yes, but the little extender orb thing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, adds the mechanic that kind of destroys the Mega Man analogy.
Okay.
That not destroys it. That's
But
rude.
but
It
I'm-
doesn't destroy.
But I'm saying like the Mega Man to me, like Mega Man 2 is an easy game because I understand when to do what. And that's just pattern, that's muscle memory and pattern behavior, like behavioral, like, work where I go, I know what's
You're right,
happening
you're
here.
right.
So that's
You're right.
kind of what I mean more so is to say Mega Man 2 is not a difficult game because I know how to circumvent and manipulate the enemies to be able to defeat them, right? And I also understand
Yeah.
like when I have to do a thing or edge towards a screen or jump up to give me visibility or whatever it is. And R-Type is kind of like that same kind of game where you have to understand what's coming at you. And the only way you will ever do that is by playing it a number of times, right? That is how
Yeah,
you
yeah.
defeat it.
So the difference with
100%.
that, though, is you can't beat R-Type, Mike.
No, I cannot. I'm not pretending I can either. Like I'm not sitting here trying to like act like I could, like I'm sitting there on some Game Boy, doing it.
I mean, it's not some like great discovery that they had to make all these pattern memorization type things, but I think when I was referring to puzzle, element per se, then I think it was more so like the strategy of like that extra mechanic specifically.
Okay.
The orb thingy that I was talking about, because it forces you to like think a little differently about just, instead of like Tiger Hell, you just move left and right and shoot shit until you get to the level. And like there's I also think they kind of pioneered the giant boss battle, maybe like the full screen boss thing. Or am I making that up entirely? But I want to say R-Type like kind of started doing that more than others.
Speaking
Am
of
I
full
wrong there?
screen, are you watching the live stream right now?
No, not at all.
You need to.
Well, you should probably pop onto the live stream.
Why? What's going on? Am I getting roasted?
No, you're not getting roasted, but your stunt double is being prominently displayed on the live stream right now.
It's just like some glitch happening because I'm on the phone with you as well, so I can't see it.
No, I just put up the picture of your stunt double that we created from the movie.
Oh yeah, does it say like saying who's on the phone right now talking to you?
Yeah, actually, I need to put that on there. But Homer Simpson, local wacko, or something like that. You know, like computer shopper or something like we were talking about before. Or it's like, yeah, bird enthusiast.
So I realized I did a terrible job explaining the puzzle element, but I just wanted to call because I was excited.
Look, man, you did just as good a job with it as you do with anything.
Man. I was just vibing. I just wanted to call back and say, hey.
Well, I'm glad you called back. And
hey, you and John are part of the show. You guys can come in and drop in anytime.
Anytime you want.
That's 2 callbacks. This is a special episode.
This is a special, this is a very special episode of Webster. So, all right, I'm going to drop the stunt double.
I think this is goodbye for real.
This is it? And until Midwest Gaming Classic, this is it?
Yeah, this is the last time you'll ever hear from me.
Well, it's not the last time that we'll hear from the one and only 8-Bit Supremacy, Robbie Coleman. Thank you for joining us. He's already hung up. I am well aware. I just wanted to play the theme song again.
Are you going to take down
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. I can't do 2 things at once.
Doppelkomen?
I'll get rid of this, but yeah. And for those watching the live stream, and I will edit this out of the podcast, when we make a reference to Stunt Double Robbie, what we're referring to is in the movie Rarity, Robbie is prominently featured in the movie.
Yes.
And at one point, the director made the creative decision to implement a recreation of Robbie trying to meet the rental store owner's son that he was trying to purchase some of his old games that he had rented from the store many, many years ago. And he used a stunt double for this. And the stunt double had like a plaid shirt, denim vest, and a phone and a bracelet, apparently. I mean, a pretty sweet bracelet over here. But I modified it to make it look a little bit more like Robbie. So I gave him the Zappa mustache, and I'm not sure what you would call that hair, but it's
the flowing black locks that are made with MS Paint.
Pretty much, and all I can say is it's not far off. So anyway, I'm going to close this out, but that's what Stunt Double Robbie's about.
That would be the Robbie that called the video game store and asked for Mortal Kombat 2 and was like, "This isn't the Robbie that called yesterday."
Yeah, exactly. That's also Stunt Double Robbie right there. You have Mortal Kombat for the Sega Genesis? That's Stunt Double Robbie calling in. We need him to call in with that voice someday.
I like how Stunt Double Robbie turned into Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons.
If he called
Tastes
in,
like burning.
If he called in one day and I answered the phone and that's what he said, I would probably piss my pants.
Definitely not that other guy.
No, that's not me. Those other kids. Anyway, all right. We've already fallen so far off the tracks here. So
this is what happens when we take a month off.
Oh man, and then your car is stolen, and I keep bringing it up. All right. So we talked a little bit about the background development, developed by Irem, 1987. It's really a 2-player side-scrolling shooter.
1 player.
But it's 2.
I think it depends on because I was looking at the Master System, and on the back of the box it says 1 player.
Don't look. The technical limitations of the Sega Master System should not define the capabilities of the game R-Type.
It's true. You're probably lucky to be 1 player on the Master System.
You're
like, just put it in and watch.
It's like trying to watch HD on that Sony television. Like, it's doing the best it can, man. Okay, it's not doing a bad job, but it's not HD. Okay, here let's see. You know what? I'm gonna hit start.
All right,
let's see what happens.
Mike's gonna see what happens. We're actually gonna hit start on the game. We know so.
Oh, 1 player.
All right, so 1 player on the Turbo.
What do you talk, man?
Sorry, I was reading. So Robbie said SMS.
This is definitely the SMS R-Type episode. Oh yeah,
Sega Master.
There's no doubt about it. All right, so music and sound. You had a fun anecdote. The composer of this game was Masato Ishizaki, right?
Yep.
And do you want to talk about this? Or you want me to talk about it?
I could talk about it.
Okay, go ahead. I thought this was pretty funny.
I actually read about him. So he actually he applied for a number of jobs when he got out of college and couldn't get anything. So he saw a software developer position open at
IREM.
At IREM, and he applied for it. No idea how to. He wasn't a software developer. Had no idea how to.
But the
develop
best
software.
part is they said, "Hey, do you know
he
how to
went in for
develop
the interview.
games?"
Well, he went in for the interview, and he was just like, "I'm just going to be straight with you guys. I'm not a software.
I just need a
developer."
job. I can't. I don't even know what a nuclear power plant is.
Yeah, and then they said, "Well, can you compose music?" And he played music as a hobby. Like he played guitar in high school, and he it was always a hobby. And they were like, "Can you compose music?" And he was like, "Well, no, but I like music." And they said, "You've got the job."
Only on this loot.
Yeah,
Perfect. I'll send you to the Square people. You'll be all over the Final Fantasy series.
but it's hilarious because they were just like, "Yeah, screw it, we'll give you the job." I don't know if they just didn't have anybody applying. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe it's like the current job market where they just can't find good people. And they're like, look, I don't care if you can do it or not. We'll figure it out.
And he had a couple notable titles that he scored to. So the Battle Road, Kung Fu Master, Kung Fu for the Nintendo, R-Type, of course, and Vigilante.
Yeah.
So he had a couple decent titles on there.
Masato Ishizaki, everybody.
Yes. And he can play the acoustic guitar.
He's a poser.
Yep. He's not a software developer.
But he's got that Martin. It's all tuned up. Anyway, folks, here's Wonderwall.
So you want to go over some reception with me?
Yeah, so I dug around. He's a composer. Good one, Robbie. Always here for the play on words, which I appreciate and love. This game is very highly regarded in the Turbo world. So Turbo is like this cult, right? I'll give you guys a quick background or quick story. Like today, I was frantically running around trying to get ready for the episode, write notes, make sure I was prepared, get the camera shot ready, take pictures, do these things that I want to do to promote the show. And during that time, I'm in a space above a local all ages venue. And during that space, the person who runs the venue stopped by and said, "Hey, I have a bunch of people who are in the music program and the audio production program or whatever it was from a local community college, which is right here, Mott Community College." Right. And would it be okay if, like, I'm going to walk them through the building, but it would be okay if they came in and took a look at your space and all that stuff? And what she said, and I thought this was very nice. She said, "You have the most baller space here." So I was like, "Thanks, man." Like, I'm trying really hard. But they brought like 15 people. Their ages ranged from like, I'd say late teens to like one guy was 40. Right. Like, and they're all interested in music or audio production or, creative space type stuff. Yeah. And I spent like 45 minutes answering questions, talking about the podcast, talking about the space, how I built it, why it is the way that it is, and all that stuff. And I didn't really get a chance to like dig in the way I wanted to. But they kept asking. One of the reason I bring this up is the guy said he was 41. Okay. Said, "I was born in 81, he says. So I'm assuming he's 41. He probably could be 40, but he's turn 41 this year. Really nice guy. And he says, "I don't remember the TurboGrafx at all." And I thought to myself, you wouldn't probably, No. Like, because he asked me what we're going to do the next show about, and that's why the Turbo box is up on the set if you're watching live. And, I had a Turbo Duo here, and I felt like a historian going through, the TurboGrafx was originally the PC Engine, released in Japan in 1987, and it was brought to the United States as the TurboGrafx in 1989, blah, 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 blah.
Was he like, whoa, nerd, I just asked what the next episode was about.
Look, I just need to know where the bathroom is. Sir, this is a Wendy's. So, no, it was very, it's very telling, right? Because you either are like into Turbo stuff or you're not. And I find that most people who are generally into it, they knew about it as a kid or grew up with it or cared about it a little bit. Yeah. And I did. Like, I collected it as a kid. I had a Duo. I had a CD add-on. I had a Super CD system card. I had all that stuff because I collected games and I thought that stuff was cool and fun. And I was a nerd with no friends other than you. Thank you. But I really liked that stuff. But most people didn't care. I read GamePro. I was like, there's a new game coming out for Turbo. I want to play Valis 3 or whatever it is. But most people didn't know or care. It was not in the public mainstream consciousness, right? So when someone who's just a few years younger than me says, "I don't even know what that is," it's not that surprising. No. Right?
So the reason I even knew about it was because my buddy's older brother bought one. And we had our Super Nintendos or Nintendos. And he comes in with this TurboGrafx. And we're like, "What is that?" And they're like,
"What'd you get that 16. At Kmart?"
Well, then he's like, oh, if top dollar
It's
back
16
then, and we're
bit
like,
and it has
you're
CDs.
stupid. Why did you buy that? Buy
go-
the Super Nintendo.
Look, loser. Shut up.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, there was always one. Like, I knew one guy that had a Sega Master System. I was the one guy who had a turbo, right? Like, because I didn't buy it when it came out, but a couple years later, I bought it and was collecting for it. But my point of bringing all that up is this game, it's interesting. I looked at like Polygon's top 500. This game does not show up. It should. Okay. First of all, I should say it should. But I think that if this game had ever been released on the NES, it would be. People like R-Type itself as a series, very good but difficult game. Okay. But it never got an NES port. But its best ports live on platforms that did not have a lot of market penetration, right? So Turbo, Sega Master System, like that. The Super R-Type and R-Type 3 and all that stuff came out on SNES, and that's great. But what I'm saying is, like, it doesn't even show up in the top 500 games of all time. No. It is the granddaddy of horizontal shooters, okay? And it's, I think, a very, very good game. Obviously, I gave it, I will talk about that in the LGN game ratings, but I think it's a very good game. It can be inherently difficult and hard to get around. But yeah, Robbie says a Genesis port would have been so sweet. It would have.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been fantastic. Like to see what they did with it on Master System and move it over to the Genesis and give it more capabilities would have been fantastic. But I circle back. There's not when you're looking at this, you almost have to look at it in a vacuum. You have to look at what turbo enthusiasts think of it, or in general, like, someone like Ranker, who Ranker says, on this platform, how does this game rank, right? And Ranker had it at the number 5 TurboGrafx game of all time. Paste Magazine, whoever that is, okay, and I have a link to their article, but in 2020, they did an article about the top 16 TurboGrafx games. It came in at number 15. It was a quote from the article is, quote, another top-notch shooter for a system just absolutely lousy with them. R-Type was as addictive as it was difficult. Now, yes, it was lousy with shooters. Like, one of the things that PC Engine and TurboGrafx is best known for is it's not licensed properties, at least in North America. It's best known for things like its shooters, because those are things that you could play. Like, a number of them didn't make it over to the US, right? But you could still play them if you had a modded Turbo or the Sega. The CD stuff is region unlocked. It's free. You could do it, but. My point is that it's the one who started it all, and it did a really good job. Blazing Lasers, horizontal, which I got right. Thank you. It is horizontal.
Yes.
But Blazing Lasers is, I think, a better game. Okay, I like Blazing Lasers, but R-Type started it, right? And to not put it in like the top 500 of all time and not find it in some of these lists is kind of disappointing to me. I was actually kind of surprised. So, but again, when you talk to turbo enthusiasts, it's one of those games that you have to have. I mean, I think they sold like Vertical. Yes, that's the word. But thank you, Robbie. But it's one of those games that if you have a TurboGrafx, I'm almost positive it's on the TurboGrafx Mini. But if you have a TurboGrafx console or Duo or whatever it is, this is a game that you should buy for it and play on it. And we'll talk a little bit about, where you can play it and how much it costs and all that stuff. But this is definitely one of those games. Like, I think I have like 40 Turbo games in my collection. Okay. And if I had to whittle it down and say, give me 10, this is in the list. Absolutely 100%. It makes the top 10. It's probably less than that. It might even be top 5 for the TurboGrafx, just because it's from a historical perspective, it's a great game. But also it is still fun to play, even if it is a pain in my ass sometimes. So anyway, Jay, why don't you talk to me a little bit about...
I'll talk to you for a little bit.
Well, I was going to tell you what about, though.
Oh, I thought you just
Hold on,
to talk
no.
for a little bit.
No, I didn't want to... Let me finish.
Okay.
So, Jay, why don't you talk to me a little bit about where you can play it?
That was hard.
This game was ported to everything.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about absolutely every place you can play it. But in its time of the era, there were plenty of places that it was on, what?
Well, of course, you get it at the arcade, you get it on Sega, you get it on TurboGrafx 16, you get it literally anywhere. I mean, it's
Yep.
minus Nintendo, but you could get
The
it.
ZX Spectrum had a port. The Atari ST had a port.
yeah.
It was one of those games that kind of wound up everywhere, right?
Yes.
Yeah, except the NES I mean, I get it. The SNES maybe was limited or too limited, but then I look at it, worked on the Turbo, and there wasn't. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. But they had a couple other places where they released it. So over the last few years, they released it. Of course, Xbox Live Arcade had it, which was cool because they did R-Type Dimensions and they did ports of the original, basically like the original Hue cards, because they did it as R-Type 1, R-Type 2. So they have them two separate games on there, which was
So
cool.
you're telling me that when they released this for the Xbox Live Arcade, they did it in 2 parts? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that there were technical limitations that prevented them from being able to put a 4 megabit, aka 512 kilobyte game
Xbox
on
was
Xbox Live
pretty
Arcade.
handcuffed back then.
Was it? I don't see. It was 2007 or 8 or whatever. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh.
That just seems
No, I think
Doesn't seem
the main reason, rationale they had, of course, was to do it just to be in the spirit of the original release. So they
Hey,
also,
real quick.
yeah,
That's fucking stupid.
yeah, it kind of is. But
Like, part of me wants
I
to
was
think
trying to
that's,
make it sound good.
part of me thinks that's cool, but then I'm like, dude, you released it as two. My
Yeah,
guess
just think
is
about it, because if you're playing it on the virtual arcade, you're like, oh, bro, I'm done with the first 4 levels. Oh, wait, I got to back out and load the other fucking game.
Do you think they did it just so they could sell you 2 games?
Probably. Knowing Microsoft, yes, that's exactly what they did. Hey, we could sell this for $10, or we could sell them separate for $7 each. That's probably what happened.
Anyway,
But either way, they did release it on the Nintendo Virtual Console for the Wii U and the 3DS. They ran it until 2020, and then they pulled it out.
yeah.
So
Which those things are going down anyway.
yeah,
so.
most I think most everything. I was listening to Collector's Quest about that, and they were talking about pretty much everything's kind of fallen out of those.
Yeah. Well, they're shutting them down.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
why.
going away.
It's not just
Yeah.
they're shutting it all down.
So, but then .emu or EMU did an iOS and an Android version, and it was published through EA Sports.
Oh, good. I
Or
hope
Electronic Arts.
I wonder if they had surprise mechanics where you could get power ups. You buy this loot box and maybe you can get a
Oh, I'm
new
sure.
gun.
I'm sure it was probably a free download, but it was a
Yeah, it's a free to play game.
$2.99. You can get this.
Heh, heh.
and yeah,
Fuck them. Again, I'm not Mr. Hot Take, but EA can kiss my ass.
well, it's in the game.
It's not anymore. It is if you pay an extra
It is for
$2.99.
$2.99.
Oh, you want that? Oh, you want to be able to press the up button and go up? That's an extra $2.99, folks. If you get the right loot box, you got to buy loot boxes so you get the up button. You don't just get the up button anymore.
So the only other one I had on here was that, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, Tozai, Tozai, released R-Type Dimensions EX, which was a digital only, and they released it on Steam, PS4, and Switch. They also did a limited run of the physical copies, not to be included with limited run games, but they did a limited run of physical copies for the PS4. They did 2,000. They released 2,000 copies for that, and then for the Switch, they released 3,000.
I got a question. Hold on.
I got an answer. I probably don't.
So I'm reading
but-
our notes you wrote here.
Yeah.
And, nice job, by the way. I mean that. Okay, I'm trying to be nice. Let me be nice.
But
There's some conflicting information in these 2 sentences.
what's that?
This was released as a digital only release, but there are also PS4 and Switch copies
Well, the digital
available.
only they released for Steam, PS4, and Switch.
Yeah. But then there are physical copies for the
They
PS4
didn't
and Switch.
release them for the Steam.
That's
I just wrote down what I found. Okay,
that's a real stretch, buddy.
I just wrote down what I found. This is what
It
happens.
can't be digital.
This is what happens when you put me in charge of shit. Why do you put me in charge of shit?
I don't. You wanted to do it, and I said, you know what? Dig your own fucking grave, buddy.
Okay.
No, you're good. I'm just giving
I'm
you.
drinking my Clearly Canadian and fucking right off.
You know what? Here's a section I wrote, so I'm going to go over it. How to collect this game. Okay? So let's go to the collecting section.
Well, if we're going to do that, then we'll just jump back into what I'm good at. And anybody that wants to collect any of the games, I have all 5 variants right in front of me. $4 each.
Wow, that's a 20% discount from your normal prices. You're crazy Eddie today.
It's been a month. I had to do something.
You're broke. You're like, I need the money, man.
It's been a month. We haven't sold. I haven't been able to sell your shit.
$20 for the whole lot.
Actually, that's a good. Yeah, $20. Anybody jumping in? $20, whole lot.
I don't like this at all.
I love it.
Yeah, and you would.
So.
All right. So
Go ahead.
collecting.
Yes.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the different versions that we have sitting right here in front of us. Okay, that's the 5 versions we have here are represented in my collecting notes. Okay, so as I point, you can't see me if you're listening to a podcast, but I'm pointing. R-Type 1, PC Engine release, loose hue cards like $28. And I'll say this: R-Type 1 and R-Type 2, very similar prices. It's about $28 for the loose hue card, $45 for the entire game, what I would deem complete in case. Okay, so Turbo is a weird, just like always, Turbo has a bunch of weird nuance to it in the collecting world. Would you do 15? No, you would not do 15.
Yes, I would. Don't
No, he
listen
would
to him.
not. Do not listen to this man. Do not pay any attention to the man behind the curtain.
I'll even throw in a pen. It's a nice
That's
pen.
a trust wave.
It's a nice pen.
It is a nice pen. Anyway, so yeah, 28 loose, 45 complete in case. So when these games were released in Japan, they came in CD cases that were kind of proprietary because they hold the hue card. They do not hold the CD. So you could replace the front plastic, right, a part of the jewel case, but the backside you cannot because it's a proprietary piece with a sticker and it very specifically holds a hue card, which is like a rectangular, piece.
And it's all one piece. It's not like an old CD case where the outer back was
Correct.
clear
It's
plastic as well. You could pop it apart.
It depends.
No, it's all one piece.
Some of them, it depends.
On this one, it's all
it
one
depends.
piece.
But anyway, so
And you get a little foam square.
I will also say this. Do not buy loose PC Engine hue cards. Generally, and this is unfortunate, but it's the truth, okay? And stop piling up my stuff to sell it because I see what you're doing over there.
I'm just making sure it's all set for Retro Bobby, okay?
Hey, whoa.
What?
You mean me? I'm taking those home tonight.
No, I'm selling them to Retro Bobby. He offered me $15 and I accepted. He's getting the pen too.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, do not buy loose hue cards, especially Japanese import PC Engine hue cards, because, and this is unfortunate, but it is true. The Japanese people in general, I think, they take better care of their stuff. They really do. So they're very particular and careful.
Yeah, they're leaving it in the back of their Traverse to get stolen.
That was duplicates. Has nothing to do with any of this. Please stop. Those are all in nice shape too. He says a deal. Damn it. But so they generally take very good care of their stuff. And I don't want to generalize or anything, but I'm going to tell you, in general, whenever I look at buying a PC Engine game, and a lot of times they are shipped from Japan, they're in very good shape. Okay.
These come from Japan?
I believe that one of them did, and one of them came from a U.S. seller. But no, actually,
They are
you know
in
what?
really good shape.
They did both come from Japan, but one of them purported to be a U.S. seller, but I think he somehow drop shipped it because it wound up taking a couple days to ship from there. But they marked it as shipped immediately, but I think they're waiting for it to show up from Japan. Anyway,
And they are in good shape.
but
Both of
they
these in
always
very
are.
good shape.
It's just the difference in culture where it's like sometimes we use and abuse stuff, and they just take very good care of their stuff. I don't want to say they in a very general, broad, Eastern sense, but
if you want to make it easier, you can just say Retro Bobby has two really
so
nice
Retro
copies.
Bobby's got a really nice couple of copies of Retro R-Type 1 and 2. But anyway, so my point is, don't buy loose hue cards of PC Engine games. You might have to sometimes for the North American hue cards. It's just because you might not find it, right? They're just hard to find. But anyway, so 28 loose, 45 complete in case. I don't believe PC Engine games ever came in like a cardboard box. Another sociological thing with the US, things were generally bigger here. So the PC Engine was smaller. The TurboGrafx was bigger because I think that people were concerned about theft. It's not as big of an issue as it is here in other places in the world. So that's why CDs originally came in long boxes. And that's why PS1 and games came in long jewel cases, the big jewel cases and all that, because those things didn't happen in Japan. They sold them in regular CD cases because they don't have as big of a problem with that kind of stuff over there. So, but the moral of the story is, if you're going to get these games, which I recommend, they're cool and they have great covers, and I love I love having them. But they get them complete in case, right? And those are about $45 a pop. And that's shipped, right? You can get them for about that shipped from eBay.
And all things considered, that's not a bad price, especially for if you get quality like this. These are great looking. I mean, like I said, it's even got the little foam. I know people can't see us if they're listening to it, but it's got the little foam protection square to put over the actual game.
Very quick,
over the card.
Very quick aside.
Yeah.
I will not generally buy a TurboGrafx game if it lacks the little plastic sleeve that the Hue card goes in. Yep. Also, I generally don't want it if this, in a US version, it doesn't have this little retention clip that holds the game in place.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm to the point now where it's like loose Hue cards will sit in a pile that I'll never look at. And I don't want something rattling around in a crappy, case. It would have to take something very specific that I was like, I'm never going to find a copy of Terraforming or whatever it is. Again, that's a CD. That's a bad example, but you know what I mean. So anyway, all right, I digress. TurboGrafx copy of this game. We've got one sitting right here. Loose, this is, I cannot believe this. Loose, this is a $55 to $60 game, okay? And then complete in case, I'm going to rough estimate. Like I use price charting and eBay as guides, but I try to dig deeper than that. It's probably a $70-ish, maybe more game complete in case, which is, again, the jewel case manual and the actual game itself. Now, these games did come in horrible cardboard boxes, very thin. Generally, I didn't know anybody that kept them. I had one for Splatterhouse back in the day, but that's the only one I can tell you that I kept or remember. Yeah. Because in general, nobody kept the boxes for the Turbo games. People can fucking pretend like they did back in the day, but you all know the truth that you didn't, and that you've all bought them since then, a new old stock or whatever it is. So don't fucking give me that bullshit about how you've been collecting Turbo games complete in the box since 1990. You can stuff that up your ass, okay? Nobody did that. That's a message for somebody very specific, and Robbie knows who. And if Robbie's on right now, he knows who I'm talking to, and he's not listening. Okay. But I don't want to fucking hear it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Nobody did.
When you say cardboard, like it didn't come in the traditional CD case, or it was a long box.
Imagine a long box, but about half the height of that.
Okay.
At about the half the height of a long box.
Is it kind of like the 32X boxes? I mean, in theory,
they're like that, but thinner.
Okay.
And the cardboard is very poor.
It's Robbie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Robbie.
That's what Valdor.
That's right. Yeah, Valdor. He decrypted my code. No, Robbie knows who I'm talking about. So, but no. Anyway, nobody kept those boxes. Okay, I had one, and like I said, the only reason I remember I had one is because I went up and looked up an old news group post from 1995 where I was selling my stuff and found that I had like Splatterhouse in the box. So, which I sold for $8. But anyway, but yeah, nobody kept those boxes. So, but yeah, so that game, 55 to 60 loose, $70 complete in case, which is what I would say is what that is right there.
Yeah.
Roughly. And then complete in box is like $115. Okay. Now, there is a sealed copy also on eBay right now for $350. It hasn't sold, but I don't think this is one of those games that's too hard to find sealed. My guess is Turbo stuff's interesting because there was so much new old stock of it that sat and people wanted picking up, and now everybody's pretending that they all loved it for the last 30 years when they just figured out what it was 18 months ago. Robbie says, bro, only legit collectors kept all their TurboGrafx 16 boxes. You're just not with it, man. Look, I don't know what it is. I used to know what it is, but then it changed, and now I find it scary and disturbing. Someday you will too. Anyway, okay. But no, I'm sorry. I'm in a mood tonight.
You are.
Anyway,
you're sassy.
But yeah, so there's one for sale for like $350 on eBay. Nobody's bought it. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. Okay, but it's. I don't think this is a game that is inherently difficult to find sealed. It's possible. I don't know. R-Type Complete, which is the CD release of the complete game on PC Engine, where they took parts 1 and 2 and put it together like a normal person would have gotten it in the US. Okay, that is like $90, right? And I've got a copy sitting here. That was a Super CD-ROM. You had the Super CD-ROM add-on for your Turbo, or Turbo Duo or RX in PC Engine RX and Duo RX, I guess, in Japan. So you'd have to have all that to be able to play it.
Yeah.
Which is why Turbo failed here, because God, it was so esoteric and confusing. Part of it. And then the Sega Master System copy we got sitting right over there. Very nice. The thing I like about it, the Sega Master System copy, is you didn't get a lot of very good art on Sega Master. They were so many of them were the same font. Like they'd say "Great Baseball" in that same font,
Yes.
and then there'd be like a cartoon graphic drawing of a guy playing baseball. Very rarely did you get Futurama. That's right. Very rarely did you get that where you actually use the R-Type logo, right, and then like a graphic, right? It was not that often. It was usually
And that's the actual arcade. That's the arcade logo.
that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but that goes for about $50, which is a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, what good game from that era can you buy for $50 nowadays, complete in box, with the manual in nice shape? There aren't that many. No. Not one that would try and go buy Super Mario Brothers for that. Buy Super Mario Brothers 2 for that. Shit. I saw Super Mario Brothers 2 loose for $25 today. That's all I got on that. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so tell me. Okay, let me go before I digress out here. A little bit about the graded sales. There wasn't a lot of information about graded stuff, but from a graded perspective, I found 2 sales. I didn't look at eBay. I only looked at the Heritage Auction for these. Yeah. So, TurboGrafx 16 copy of this game sold complete in box, again sealed because nobody bought it.
Yeah.
Okay, 9.6 grade, A++ seal, $1,020 on October 31st, 2021. So Halloween, they bought this game on Halloween. A Sega Master System or Smith's version of this game, 9.6 A+, sold for $1,200 just in March 22nd of this year, March 22nd of 2022. I would say that there are far fewer versions of the Master System game that exist and are sealed. Okay. But I'm just speculating. So that's it. That's really all I could find. This is not a game that is outside of most people who collect retro games budget. This is a great game. It is a lot of fun to play. It can be very difficult, but you could go buy a copy. Like I got on eBay and I snatched up R-Type 1, 2, and Complete for the PC Engine. They're all available. They're all in pretty good shape, and they're not super expensive.
Yeah.
And I think worth having. So why don't you tell me, Jay,
Yes.
my co-host, thank you for being here, by the way,
Hey,
and putting up with my tyrannical rants tonight. Man, I don't know. Sometimes I just get a fire lit in me, and I'm like,
You're running on 11. We need to get you on like 6.
I'm going to try and pull it back a little.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull. But why don't you tell me a little bit, Jay, about speed running of this game?
Well, you can wind down because it's going to take a while.
Oh man, let me get settled in. Okay? I'm going to take my headphones off and stretch. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. What do you got?
See if he can stretch before I'm done reading this. So, actually, there wasn't much for speedrunning. There was literally 2
You lied
people.
to me.
I did lie to you. So the only thing they had was any percent. They had any percent with the 21 continues. And
We
then
haven't
they
talked
had,
about that yet, but
Yes.
in R-Type, in the TurboGrafx version, if you hold down select and the 1 button, I believe, when the 1 button is on Turbo, when it is sitting at the R-Type splash screen of the marquee or track mode, you can get additional continues. You get 3 continues to start the game, but you can get all the way up to 21. It's a timer thing. When you hit 21, you got to hit start, and if you don't, it will restart the kiosk display thing.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so there were how many different versions? How many different types of runs were there?
They had 3 listed. So they had the any percent just in general.
Right.
They had the any percent with the 21 continues.
Right.
And then they had a low percent.
Right.
The only ones that had any names in it was just the any percent. None of the other, they just literally, it said no data available.
So let me make sure I got this right. Okay.
Yes.
If we, as a podcast and friends, wanted to go dominate the 21 continue version of R-Type's speedrun on speedrun.com, we could go do it now uncontested.
Yes. But the key there is we have to finish it.
Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't get to that part.
I got excited for that for a minute too. I was thinking we could just go do it and then our names
Why
could
wouldn't
be
I
on
just
there.
go to, we need a Game Boy version. We can get Robbie on this.
Robbie tore it up.
We can get 8-Bit Supremacy on that speedrun.com leaderboard.
He needs to get on it. So
He needs to get
But-
on something.
on the any percent, the only 2 people on there was a guy from Japan and his
Does he have a name?
Yes, his screen name was Neat Shuro,
Neat
Neet
Shurio.
Shurio. Shurio. He did any percent 14 minutes and 59 seconds. And then there was a guy from the US and that is Vance Valise. And he did an E% in 16 minutes and 26 seconds. And that was it. That's literally that's it. That's all we got.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Is there a speedrunning section for how long it takes for you to fucking destroy your controller after you've died in the same spot 7 times?
I'm guessing that's quicker than the 16 or 14 minutes that were in.
I'll bet you I spent at least 14 minutes and 59 seconds doing that at one point. Although I will say this, I'm not destroying TurboGrafx or Duo controllers. Those things are too hard to find and too expensive.
Right.
So I'm just going to emulate it on my computer and punch my monitor or something. Anyway.
But that was it. Like, that's all they had on it. So
That's amazing. Like, I think that's very interesting that there's 2 categories with no submissions.
nothing.
Now we just have to learn how to beat the game, and then we can do it.
Yeah.
We got 21 continues. It could be 10 hours, and we'd be number 1.
Yeah.
We could set the bar.
I'm guessing that would be beaten pretty well.
But somebody'd have to do
that
it.
long and nobody's done it.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say, it exists now, and nobody's done it.
we should do that tonight.
Somebody should.
Let's do it.
No,
Okay.
I can't beat it.
Robbie, get on that.
Yeah.
Robbie, go. Let's go.
Yeah, go. Come on, Robbie.
Matteo needs to be on that. He hasn't done a speed run in a while.
Who?
Matteo.
Who?
Matteo.
That guy's dead to me.
Matteo 1989.
He's not. I love him.
I love Matteo. He's the man.
He's aight.
He's the man.
He's aight.
He needs to come back to Michigan again.
We'll get him back here.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well,
That's it.
I think it's time to wrap up.
Let's go.
Thank you again to everybody for putting up with us, not only tonight, but with our extended absence, which again, we've put in some things to kind of prevent that from happening. Obviously, life happens, and that is what happened. It was certainly not from a lack of want. It was more of from there was just too much going on. Before we wrap up,
Congratulations again, the RGB bro.
yep, that's exactly what I want to talk
Was it
about.
RGB bro?
RPG Bros.
RPG bros.
RPEG
God,
Bros,
sorry.
remember?
Yes.
But that also leads me to this.
Oh, yeah.
So we got another giveaway. Okay.
The Notorious RGE.
And I think this is going to become a recurring theme. Okay. So anybody who's listening now, okay, or listening through the podcast when it's posted to your podcast aggregator of choice, we want to try and give stuff away on a regular basis. I've purchased stickers and some other ephemera, if you will, that I'd like to also give away as part of this too. Okay. Yes. But our friend, the Notorious RGE, retro game enthusiast John Young, from the mean streets of Kansas City.
That's Kansas City.
I don't know. I've never been, but I bet it's mean. I bet you there's some streets that are pretty nasty, if you know what I mean.
Got some barbecue sauce on them.
They got all kinds of dried up barbecue sauce, like in the.
Man, I want some ribs.
I know, me too. Anyway, so
We still got pizza left.
I'm well aware.
Okay.
Our good friend John supplied us with our next giveaway.
Yes.
Okay, and I should also say this before I move on to that. The last giveaway was supplied by our friend Kyle at Retro Replayed. He is Retro Replayed, I believe Retro_Replayed on Instagram. Kyle is a fantastic guy and a great supporter of the show. And he's going to be on again soon. We don't know when, but he wants to come on, and we're going to be doing a Godzilla
next month.
He was going to be on in a couple weeks, but he had to postpone because he's got a little.
Oh,
He's got a thing he's got to do.
all right.
But we'll have him on.
We'll
so
do his thing.
we'll try and get him anyway. No, but yeah, that giveaway was supplied by Kyle. Kyle's a fantastic guy, and I wish he would post more on Instagram so I could try to provide more things to him. Or he could, like we could send more business to him. But he does have an eBay store, so look him up on there. I think he's Retro Replayed on there, or Wojo Gaming. I take a look. But anyway, so that doesn't matter. Because what matters now is what's in my hand right now.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you, I don't want to give this away. I want to keep this.
Well, you got to give it away.
I know that. But what I'm holding is...
I guess you don't have to give it away. You can keep it, but then I'm going to sell it to somebody for $4.
Yeah, I know how you work. We all know your shtick, Hale. What I'm holding here is a complete box copy of Tetris for the Famicom.
Yeah.
And man, it's pretty cool. This is the kind of stuff I love because growing up, we all know what Tetris looked like, whether it was for the NES or whether it was for the Game Boy or whatever it is, or Tetris 2, electric Tetris-Loo. I need to do that again. Hold on, let me do that again. Hold on, I need to do that one again. Or Tetris 2, electric Tetaloo. It was not.
It didn't give me any better.
Okay. But anyway, I digress. But I'm holding a copy, complete in box copy, speaking to what I meant earlier in that look at the size of this game for the Famicom.
Yeah.
Look how small it is. You can't. They would have never sold like something like this in the U.S. Nobody would have bought it. They would just stuck it in their pocket and walked out and be like, I ain't paying for shit, mister. Look, Mr. Woolworth, if that is your real name.
Mr. Woolworth.
Kendrick Mart, if that is your real name. I don't even know. But if it is, I'm not paying for this. This is mine. But yeah, a complete box copy of Tetris for the Famicom.
What are we going to do for this giveaway?
You know what? I don't know. I think if
we could do a name this sound clip. They can figure out who the individual is in the sound clip. You already know.
Gee, which sound clip are you talking about, Jay?
I don't know.
It could be this one. Oh shit! Ah! Mom!
No, why would you think I'd pick that one?
Oh, okay.
Because it's the best sound clip ever. No, that was really it. That was really it.
What if we don't use that?
Okay, we don't have to use that.
What if we say,
Man, we got something we gotta get rid of on here.
name this song. Send us the title of this song. Actually, this song.
You want me to hit it?
Yeah.
Ready?
And send us the title of this song to be in it. Start that over. You cut me off. I was
Sorry,
talking.
go ahead. Give me the point.
Yeah, I will give you the point.
Okay.
That's this, everybody. Don't do it.
Oh.
That was just a dry run.
Do it?
No, damn it. We've really fallen off the rack. You want to win a boxed copy of Tetris for the Famicom put out by Bulletproof Software in 1988, I believe. That is correct. You just have to send myself, Platform Agnostic, on Instagram, or Notorious Jay on Notorious with a zero, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's Notorious with a zero _ J.A.Y or something.
It was hard to come up with.
We gotta fix that. That does not translate well to radio. Or just send it to us at Lost Joystick.
I was gonna say, or
On
we just use
Instagram.
Lost Joystick.
We could, but maybe someone wants to send it to you and they can't find you because your name is weird.
Well, it'd be a whole lot easier to find Lost Joystick.
I just want to make you have to wait with your finger on that button because I'm not ready to point at you yet.
I'm gonna hit it.
Send us the name of this song. Just beat it.
Terrible.
I was trying to give them a hint.
Don't give hints.
Maybe people don't know the song.
We gotta make these people work for it. They gotta, they gotta work for it.
Yeah,
We got 7 people listening right now.
Yeah.
Minus Robbie and John. We got 5 people listening right now.
Plus you.
I think I'm still
I think
logged
it's
in.
on my phone. I'm pretty sure my dad's still on. So we got 2 people.
Well, we got 9 now.
What just happened?
We got 4 people.
People heard the. Well, I was going to say the
They heard the
artist.
song.
They heard the song and they jumped right. Oh my God! They're playing the song.
So if you just hopped on, we got a contest for Tetris. You win a Famicom copy, box Tetris. All you gotta do is just name the song.
We already have 2 entries, by the way.
That's all 2 that are listening.
My phone has buzzed with the 2 people.
I just want to listen to this again.
You better run, you better do what you can. You wanna blah 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 blah, just blah blah. All right, boy, I get the feeling it might be time to put this puppy to bed, and by bed I mean in a cold, shallow grave.
Yes. Yes.
There's gonna be a lot of editing here.
Yes.
That's how I blame you.
Oh, well.
Anyway, all right, Jay. Well,
You want me to tell them where to find us?
Why don't you
I'm wrapping it up.
tell the people who are listening to us right now where they can find us.
Where they can find us. We've got a link tree now, people. Everybody knows about our link tree.
How does it again?
I'm not. No. Okay, I'm doing it. It's linkter.ee. Lost Joystick.
HTTP. Wait.
I don't know why I think that's so funny.
HTTP.
I don't know why I think that's so funny. No, it's linktree/Lost Joystick. Also, we have our direct media, social media contacts. We also have our direct social media contacts. Instagram and Twitter, Lost Joystick, which don't forget to send us a message about the Tetris contest.
Some people already have.
Well, there we go. We're good. So, and then Facebook and Twitch, we're Lost Joystick Network. And of course, our email address, info@lostjoysticknetwork.com.
Let me ask you a question.
Ask. Let's go.
Do you feel like it's time to end the show and potentially beat it?
Oh, shit! Ah! Mom!
We're doing that over because you fucked up and pressed the wrong button.
No, I knew what I was
No,
pressing.
I know what you
I
meant to press,
100% wanted
but I'm
to press
telling
that.
you, it was not nearly as funny if I would have said, "Don't you think it's time to wrap up the show and beat it?"
Whatever do you mean, Michael?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let it ride, baby. Let's go. Just beat it. You know that was an expert setup, and I put it right on the tee. And you're like, "No, I'm gonna go with this other sound that
I'm going
is."
to go with my favorite sound.
Yeah, look, it's everybody's favorite sound, but it didn't fit, and you know it.
It's great.
It is great. It fits everything.
Yes.
All right. What else you got? That's it? We're done?
What else we got?
Well,
What do you got? What do you got for me? I'm putting my microphone on mute. Let's
that's
go.
a good call. Thank God. Finally, you got something right tonight. All right. Man, you had why you got the thing going? What are you doing to me here? You pressed the button.
I didn't hit it.
Why was it red?
You were getting all grab-assy on it.
All I did was press this. You had pressed that button.
No.
Liar.
I hit my
Why do you lie? Why do you turn this studio into a house of lies?
I muted my microphone.
Okay, this is all getting edited out.
No, it's not. We're leaving all this. No, you remove the space. Whose space are we removing? Who the
Okay,
fuck
this
is
has got
guy?
to. We got to put this to bed. Somebody's in our chat trying to get us to get on reality records or whatever. Hey, promote it on this. How about
Send me
you?
a check. I will.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Anyway, a little check would need to clear.
Okay, I'm muting it.
All right. Goodbye. So with that, I'll say it's time to go home for us. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. So go out there, have fun, be safe, and be excellent to each other. I'm not talking about the puzzle element. There is no. What are you going to call back? Make me talk about it, Robbie. We love you, buddy. Don't make me call. I'm ready. Well, I got the phone's up. We're still recording.
Don't make me call.
I'm not making. Do whatever you want.
Call.
Do whatever you think you can do, buddy.
Do it.
Go ahead. You make the first move. See if I answer. I'll answer. I'm
Going to
going. I knew you were. I knew it. Yeah. Anyway. All right.
Thanks for everybody getting on.
Yeah.
So,
thanks
I
for
know
everybody
we
being
were-
here. Yeah. I
God,
know that
3
this was
hours. That's
all
like
over
a
the place.
fucking
No,
tour.
there's a lot to chunk out of this one. So
These guys hung with us for 3 hours.
Yeah,
I know some of them left. We got down to like 2 at one. I don't think we had anybody.
I
at
don't
one
think
point.
Amy's ever spent 3 consecutive hours with me in a row.
Is she on?
No.
Oh,
What's next? We're going to talk about Tetris.
Oh shit!
What do
We
you
didn't
mean
even
what's
talk
next?
about
It's
it
right
next
here.
episode.
Let me pop it in the old Famicom, aka I don't have one of those here. So
You got one and it ain't working. You
I got
fixed
I
it.
got the twin.
Yeah, it's still ain't working.
Shut up. I know.
Shut me up.
Look, you want to fix it?
Let's go.
Come over.
Give it to me.
I'm not giving you anything.
Oh.
Well, I will. I'll give you plenty of stuff. I hope
Good
you do.
show, dude. Thanks. I didn't think it was that good, but hey,
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sticking with us.
we're so bad. I mean,
Is
we're
it really
we're a
Tetris?
train.
No, it's
we're-
not really Tetris.
We're
gotta
a
talk about
train
something,
wreck.
Nick.
We're a train wreck regardless.
This
But
time
when we take breaks, we are real bad. Like we got to really get it back on the track.
This was I thank you for the people who are still on listening. This was a bit of an anomaly for us because there was so much going on in my life. And Jay, you've been busy with your new job.
Yeah.
It's been very difficult for us to sit down and concentrate on playing the game, but also doing the research that I want to do to the level and quality that we want to do it. So it just the time we were not afforded the amount of time we needed to do it, and it's this is what happens as we diverge into insanity. And then Robbie wants to talk about the puzzle elements of R-Type incessantly, forever, and how he used to collect all the boxes for his TurboGrafx 16. And anybody else that didn't was a composer.
I thought it went well, other than my dead air.
Yeah, no, you're dead. That was my fault. That was not your fault, John. I was just letting it sit there and marinate, and I don't know why. I just was in a mood tonight, so I'm sorry.
We need to talk about getting guests too. We got to get some more guests on.
In the Switch Bitch overkill. Well, we're putting it to rest. Don't worry. R.I.P.
Thank
Rest in
God.
power, Switch Bitch.
Thank God.
That is a funny name, though. I wish we could come up with somebody we didn't like
You're struggling.
that we could call Switch Bitch.
So
Keeping it real. The notorious RGE.
keeping it real.
Keeping it 100. Keeping it 100. I don't know what the hell's playing
Valor's
over.
on. Valor, you're on Collector's Quest, right?
He's on the.
He's on the Collector's Quest
He's
on
on the.
Patreon?
You're talking about the Discord, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's
you're
over
on
there.
the Discord.
Yeah.
I think
Johnny over there has made it clear that we can certainly promote the show and all that, and I just still don't do it.
Can't do it.
I know. I'm gonna
We need
start.
to get Johnny on.
Nah, we're gonna. I just as an aside to those listening now, we are gonna get Johnny on. I talked to him about it. He wants to pick a game. Oh, you're not over there. Okay. Well, you should be. I would definitely if you do Patreon. You should definitely jump on and get on the level where I think it's $4 a month or whatever to get on their Discord. It's great, and everybody, it's a
cool
great
guys on
place. There are a lot of good people over there. So
Well, John's on. Is Robbie?
Robbie's not on there, but John is,
Yeah.
but no, we want to get Johnny on. He and I have talked about it. He's in. We just have to pick a game, and then he needs to find the time to play. I think one of the games he wants to play is kind of an investment of time, and he wants to have a reason to do it. So
Yeah.
he's more than happy to do it, and I'm excited to get him on. But we haven't announced that yet because we haven't picked a date, and I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. So the next game we're gonna do, we haven't decided yet. We're gonna be back on in 1 week because we want to get back onto our regular Thursdays. I go pick up my son every other
We're gonna be
Friday.
on next week.
What?
We're gonna be on next week.
Yeah,
Oh shit! I thought we were
the
back on
21st.
track.
No. Remember, I told you we talked about this. Oh yeah, that's right. But I go pick up my son every other Friday, and I would much rather do the episodes on the Thursday before the weekend I do not go get him, because it gives me time on a Friday or Saturday or Sunday to edit the episode, whereas I can't do it if I have him because I'm driving all day Friday, driving all day Sunday and Saturday. I don't want to do anything.
Which the 3 hours might be a stretch for me, but I need to start doing that.
Yeah. Well, this is a long one, and it'll be fine. I'll bet you it chops down to about 2 hours, honestly, because there was a lot.
Probably.
There's a lot of stuff in there we can lop out and move around and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, thank you for everybody for sticking with us, and thank you for being a part of the show. We appreciate everybody who listens, and we appreciate everybody who interacts with us. And we consider many of you our friends, so I hope that you do the same. And if any of you are going to be at Midwest Gaming Classic, let me know. I'd love to meet up with you and hang out, and I can bring you some stuff. Or if you don't want stuff, I can just be there and be my normal effervescent self.
You'll be the guy with the shirt.
Yeah, that's right. Remember?
Yeah.
That's why I told you guys I'll have the shirt. Which shirt is a mystery, though. Yeah.
The one with Robbie's mustache wax on it.
You know what I think I'm going to do? No, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a shirt with Robbie's stunt double on it, and that's what I'm going to wear.
You should.
That'll be the shirt I wear to Midwest Gaming Classic. Now I gotta figure it out. Low cut for tit signing. It's gotta be a scoop neck. It has to be a scoop neck shirt so I can pull it down very easily.
Dude, you could get
and
the-
Metal Jesus can sign my cleavage.
You could get the LJN mullet shirt. We could have Robbie stunt double on the back and Robbie on the front, and it'll say business in the front, party in the back.
Business in the front, double in the back.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Anyway. All right.
I'm going to bed.
You going to bed right here? You staying here tonight?
Probably. I'm just going to
You
sleep
could.
under the table.
This place is fucking dope. I'd stay here. I almost want to. What time is it? I should go.
What time it is? 12 o'clock. It's
All right.
late.
Thank you everybody for being on. We're gonna kill the stream, and I love you.
Stop it.
I like you too.
Stop it.
Anyway, all
We
right.
got to figure out. We'll post what game we're going to have on later.
I hope you run into that guy at MGC. I hope we do too. I hope I have a shirt on with a stunt double, and that guy's there for whatever reason.
He's like, the fuck, dude?
If the guy from fucking Rarity is there, I'm gonna tell him what I think. Because hey, real quick, I'm gonna stop the recording. That won't prevent it from being on YouTube. If you've seen the lineup for the sequel to the Rarity documentary, I'm sorry,
There's a sequel?
it's coming.
Oh.
You're.
Are we on it?
It's worse than the lineup for Midwest Gaming Classic. No, we're not on it. And if they asked me, I'd be like, no, thank you.
Be fun.
No, we're not.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, I'm done. All right.